I think we won. We won. What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? We fucking done it. I'm fucking delighted. Excuse the coursing. No, fuck the coursing. Fuck them. Yes, we done it. I'm bleeding delighted. Now look, let's not fucking run ahead of ourselves here. Like, Arteta's at the wheel. The bus. Yeah, he's at the wheel. No, let's calm down. Let's relax. Enjoy the victory. Enjoy. Look, I'm bleeding delighted. But look, there was still a lot of holes in that fucking defense. Everything like it. Let's fucking take a breather, take a step back. Let's sort of see what happens today in the match. Jesus, like I'll start. Look, I'll start at defense. I thought our defense in the first half was fucking useless. Ben White was getting found out left, right, and centre. Tuchel obviously knew, look, Ben White, Tavares on the left as well. I wasn't happy, to be honest with you, with the starting lineup. And I'm going to be completely fucking honest here. It is the way I am. I'll be honest. I was fucking raging, to be honest with you. And I'll say it. Not many people will say, "Oh yeah, I was delighted." No, I'll say it out fucking straight. Yeah, I was a bit pissed off. But the defense. Wow, we fixed the defense. We didn't really. I was very impressed with up front and stuff like that. Very impressed. Odegaard, for example, I thought he played very good today. Shaka done good. El Neni done good. And I said fucking ages ago, and people were saying to me, "Oh, El Neni, no, put him in there." Lakonga, he's only a young, inexperienced player. It's too much you're dependent on him to play big games and in the Premier League when the poor chap, you know, he's only young, he's new to the league, stuff like that. And then I thought he done okay. I'm not saying he fucking pulled trees up or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. He done good, him and Shaka. Odegaard, I thought done very well. Um, Eddie, Eddie, give us a wave. He must be watching my videos. He goes up to the corner, flag up in the air. Del boy, where are you? I'm in fucking Dublin, Eddie. Give us a wave. But fair fuck still. Yeah, 2 goals. I'm not going to run ahead of myself with it. He's still 2 goals in the league all year. I know he hasn't been playing every game, but, let's relax a bit. Yeah, just calm fucking down, right? Right, calm down. Everyone's probably saying, Dale, you're the only one here losing the plot. No, that's grand. But look, I'm just excited. I'm delighted. But, we still have a tough game. I know United are fucking shy, but, that can all change on Saturday, and this feeling now could go out the window. We'll talk about that later on in the show, and all stuff like that. I'm like, I can't sort of, I can't believe it. I thought Chelsea were going to absolutely fucking destroy us. I thought it was going to be about 3-0. I see Craig there in the chat. I was saying to him 3-0. And I'm going to call you out, Craig, mate. You were saying fucking 4-0. So, yeah. But, yeah, fair play to them. Fair play to them. The only thing I'm worried about, and this is what this show is about. Let's pick the fucking meat off the bones here. Have a look, see what happened. Um, you know what do we need? Will we get top 4? We're level now with Spurs. Same games, same fucking same bleeding points. They've a few goals extra. it's looking like, you know, well, look, I'm not going to jump ahead of myself. We've still United to go. We've still a few tough games to go. But that game against Spurs will be a fucking a big one. It'll be a lottery. You know, we don't have a great record there. You know, the last time we won there was a 17, 18 or something like that. Um, I'm not sure. But look, I'm just going to hit out a few comments here because I want to see what you guys are saying. Um, Aline, what's the story? Big up Del Boy, Arteta out. This fan base are a bunch of flip flops. Fucking flippity flops. Del Boy's the biggest flippity flop. No, I know. Well. Time to break out the red panties. Exactly, yeah. I'll tell you, yeah. It'd be a bit strange if I had them, all right, Warren. But I know what you mean. I have the champagne here. Champagne's on ice. Champagne on ice. Yeah, we are all friends. Yay, we're all friends. Friends today. Arteta in and out. Give me hugs. Every one of us. Come on, group hug. Brentford conceded one away at Chelsea. Arteta out. There you go. Yeah, okay. I'm fucking flipping flopping here. Go on, Darren. And Darren's a real one. I'll tell you that for nothing. Del Boy, calm down. Arteta out. I know. Look, come here. What I am saying is, and I'll go into this, right. I still think, look, if he lost today, he had to fucking go out the door and be sacked straight away. But don't worry, he's not. He hasn't changed my mind. I still want him gone. I still do want him gone. I still don't think he's the man for the job. If we did get Champions League, we would get fucking absolutely annihilated by your top teams. You know, we've seen it when we play Liverpool. You know, when you play Man City. I know the last game we played 2-1 and we played well, but their class just done it. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you come up against a Bayern Munich, like, you know, Real, fucking whoever you want to bleed and talk about, PSG, anyone, like, you know, I just don't think that Arteta has the class to fucking outsmart them. You know what I mean? And that's sort of the way I'm looking at it. And I am looking at this. I don't give a bollocks if fucking Ronald McDonald is the fucking manager. If he's getting a tune out of the team and like he's tactically aware of what's going on, I don't give a bollocks. You know what I mean? I don't care. I really don't care. But, you know, I just don't. I can't see Arteta doing it against the big teams. I really can't, you know. And it's nothing against the chap. I've nothing against him. I just don't think he's a good enough manager. He's had too many mistakes. He's had too many falling out with players. You know, and not even to blame him, but the running of the club has been an absolutely fucking disgrace. You know, it has been a disgrace. You know, and you know that just bleeding really gets to me now. Big up Dave. Dave's chats, LFC chats. Sorry. Yeah, mate. You're happy, but look, Man City won today, so it's go another day. Go another day for you. FM22 fanboy. Hi, mate. How are you? Thanks a million for tuning in. Fair play to you. Out and out, Gunnar. What's the bleeding story, man? How are you doing? Big up, Dell. Out and out says we've got Super Mikel Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. He knows exactly what we need. Kieran at the back, Gabby in attack. Arsenal gonna win the Champions League. You, we are in me bollocks. Chelsea were shocking tonight. Tuchel kept Arteta in the job for fuck's sake. Yeah, what do you guys think? Like, you know, I didn't really get the. He wasn't fucking. I suppose I'm used to Arteta up and down the line, you know, and Tuchel was just sitting there the whole game, you know. And one thing I will say about Arsenal is I didn't like. I love my teams, right? Even the team that I manage, I love teams that have the fucking sharpness, keep going, like, you know, bang bang, you know, like fucking Sanchez. You know the way he was a player. He just keep at it. Even a Martinelli, just keep at them. But Arsenal, Saka, Odegaard, and it's my only sort of little nitpicking here I'm doing. Like when they sort of lose the ball, it's okay, someone else will get it. No, you fucking lost it. You run after it and get it back. I hate that. That does me head in. Like professional footballers, you should have that fucking snap about you. Get the fucking ball back. You know, you lost it. You get it back. You know. Alan, that's a disgrace of a song about Arteta. Where were they singing about it the last 3 games? Exactly, yeah. United are shy. Look, come here. I know this, Dave, and I fuck come here, guys. Check his channel out. He's fucking brilliant. Like, you know what I mean? He's actually a positive Irish person compared to this old fucker here. And I look at my channel, and all you see is rants, angry rants, and all this. But look, I'm smiling. I'm happy today. But yeah, United. Look, they were awful last night. Absolutely fucking dog shit. But sometimes Arsenal just do this. They turn them into a fucking. They'll be like fucking Barcelona back in the fucking. When they were winning the Champions League and all. Like, they'll make them look like that. Actually, something I have to say about Harry Maguire. So, someone please remind me later on. I just want to slag the fuck out of him. Eddie got an upgrade from a Nokia 64 to an iPhone 7. Exactly. Well, fuck it, fair play to him. He scored, but let's not run away with ourselves. Let's look, he needs to score another few goals to fucking convince me anyway. Arteta, the coaching staff, they're sold. Give him contracts, give him Ferraris, fucking houses, everything. They think he is the man for the job. I personally don't think he is the man to lead our line up front. Like, a mate of mine texts me during the match going, a Liverpool supporter, by the way, who the fuck is up front for you tonight? Don't tell me it's Eddie. I says, yeah, mate, it fucking is Eddie. He's leaving in the summer, along with Lacazette, and we've no strikers, nothing. He's just there. That's fucking crazy from you. So there you go, like, you know what I mean? Carlos Eduardo, what's the story, man? What kind of Chelsea was that? I was expecting us to get beaten worse than United. Do you know what? When I seen United and Liverpool last night, I was just thinking, I think we're going to get the same fucking hiding. But, I was on. I done a stream on NS Sports last night, and there was 2 Chelsea supporters in it, and they were saying that Chelsea are like Arsenal sometimes, like that. They fucking turn these teams into fucking prime fucking Barcelona, But yeah, look, come here. I'll take it fucking tonight all day long. Gracie May, what's the story? Good evening. Good evening. How are you? Del Boy topped up Eddie's BlackBerry. Exactly, yeah. I threw a fucking bit of credit his way, yeah. Good evening, Gracie. Top 4 isn't a trophy, it's third loser. Exactly, and that's exactly what I'm fucking saying. Look, this is what I have to ask you as well. At this stage of the season, would you be happy enough finishing top 4, or do you want to fucking get out of Europe or get to get this manager out? Like, what way do you guys feel? We sacked Wenger for top 4. Exactly, 100%. 100%. Hanif, what's the story? Where is the link? I'm getting you on now, mate. I'm going to drop the link now in a minute. Jamie, check out Jamie, another Liverpool, another fucking happy bastard. And I mean that in a nice way, Jamie. Congrats on 500 subs. Cheers, mate. And thanks a million to everyone who's subscribing to my channel. I really, really do appreciate it. And anyone that even, like, if I do a video that drops a message in me link, I'll always try me best. I actually do get back in contact with everyone who drops a message. And I'll keep doing it for as long as I bleed and can. I really do appreciate it, everyone. Thanks a million. Post the link, pal. Yeah, I'm going to post it now in 2 seconds. What do I have to do? Oh, yeah. 1 second. While I'm doing that, I'm going to get this fella in and seeing what the fuck the story is. Kyle, what's the crack? How are you doing?
What's the crack, Dan? Can you hear me, buddy?
I can hear you. Yeah. Come here.
I'll tell you what the crack is. I was running a bit late. I had to go and grab the dinner, so I'm going to be eating the dinner while I'm talking, Dan.
You walk away. I'll fill in the gaps. But here,
I had to take care of the boss here beside me.
Oh, yeah. That has to be done. But
no, went over to the hotel to watch the game. And to tell you the truth, I thought tonight we played very well. It was a defensively, once again, we're weak defensively. We were wide open there at times there. But I thought Chelsea were very weak in defence there tonight too. I think they were showing that they were tired. I thought Chelsea looked a bit tired to me tonight.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I thought El Neni was very good tonight. And I think that Arteta did right by changing it up a bit and putting El Neni in there. Lokonga, it's not up to it at the moment, then, you know, he needs a bit more time. But El Neni went in there, I thought he was solid there tonight. But once again, Xhaka, what is the story with Xhaka? Did you see him turn his back on that goal? A professional footballer turned his fucking back there.
Yeah, I know.
Eddie Nketiah, that was his best performance so far in an Arsenal jersey. I thought he was outstanding tonight, Eddie Nketiah. And I'd be the first to say that I don't rate him. But I thought tonight he played with desire, bit of passion. But where is this performance over the last 3-4 weeks then?
This is the thing. Kyle, like, you know, I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating to think, like, imagine if we bet Crystal Palace, we bet Brighton. You know what I mean? You're Southampton. You know, just the games that it's just the consistency that does my bleeding head in. You know what I mean? And come here, I'm just going to drop in. There's a few more in here, so we might as well get them in. We're having a bleeding party. Get in there, Hanif. What's the story, man?
I told you.
I know you fucking did.
I told you. I only watched from the second half. I didn't watch the second half. The first half, sorry. But you guys deserved it. You were the better team, in my opinion. Credit to you. I knew our home form would come back and bite us on the backside against a very good Arsenal team, in my opinion. A very young Arsenal team. I think Arsenal fans are harsh. I think Del Boy, I think you're really harsh. But that's your opinion. But today you've got to give Arteta credit. You've got to give the boys credit. It was, you know, you didn't have your first team out there, neither did Chelsea, and you got the job done. You know, the likes of Tavares and Nketiah, players who you could say that were under a lot of pressure, but, you know, they played well today. And you have to, El Neni and Xhaka, I thought were fantastic. El Neni always turns up against the big boys. There's something weird about El Neni. I swear I don't get it, but against the big boys, against the top six, he plays really well. And credit to you guys. I thought you were the better team. I think Azpilicueta was very lucky to have survived not being sent off. But ultimately, Arsenal were the better team. I thought it was going to be a draw. You know what I thought? We had the discussion yesterday, and it doesn't surprise me. You guys were the better team, and congratulations to you.
Yeah, fair. Big up to you. Manny, I'll come to you. What's the crack? How are you, mate?
I am fine, thank you. Can you?
I can indeed. 100%.
Wonderful, wonderful. So big up to you. Big up to Mr. Walsh. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. And yourself?
Can't complain.
Good.
I want to actually say sorry because I wanted to join the chat last time around, Del, but you know, my phone kept refreshing.
Yeah.
So I'm actually speaking to you from my computer, and I'm actually trying to, you know, tilt it in such a way that you can see my face. And it's ridiculous, but you know, you may do with what you have. But you know, I've put out a few entries in the chat, and all I can say is that, you know, this team is as flip-flop as the fan base. You know, many of us were predicting that this game against Chelsea would be effectively the death knell for our chances for getting into the top four, because, you know, we know about Chelsea's attacking potential. But what was probably missed was the fact that Chelsea had actually conceded quite a lot of goals in their last few home games. I mean, they were whacked for 4 by Brentford. Real Madrid hit them for 3. And now they've conceded 3 here. You know, maybe we missed that, I don't know, but we were still quite afraid of the attacking potential. However, both you and Kyle have hit the nail on the head. It's the inconsistency that will be our worst enemy. And, you know, just when we think things are going to go really well, there can be a slip-up anytime. And our performances against the likes of Palace and Southampton and Brighton are perfect proof that this same group of players that can overachieve against Chelsea and other big teams can completely flop against some of the smaller teams. And we don't need to have that sort of an inconsistent team with a poor squad of players who overperformed today in the Champions League. I think the Europa League or the The Europa Conference League might be our level. If we get top 4, I mean, if we definitely don't get in the top 6, Arteta should do the decent thing and resign. And yet, I don't think he will.
Yeah. No, there's no way he will. There's no way he will. I just want to get in. We may hear AFC. What's the story? How are you doing? Say you're happy.
Yeah, very happy. I think, we played so well today, I think it was brilliant for us to get a win, and try and get ourselves back into the top 4. I think, on Saturday, I think, you guys were calling for Arteta to get the sack. You guys now look stupid. Because,
Yeah.
If we got it your way, we would be out of a job. And we wouldn't have got the win, so...
No, look, come here. Everyone has their point of view on my channel, and I respect everyone's point of view. I really do. What did you? Who was your favorite player today, mate? Who did you think played well?
Nketiah, I think that's the best performance I've seen from him for absolutely ages. I know he got some lucky goals, but I think he was so good today.
Yeah, 100%. What did you make of? Yeah, I agree. Like, he was disappointed when he came off, but he looked as if he was very tired.
He did a lot of work there tonight, Dad. He played well there tonight. In fairness to him, now you have to give credit where credit is due, and I thought tonight he was exceptional.
Yeah. No, he was. Like, the only thing, like, I thought, like, that he did look wore out, and I was there thinking, why the fuck is he wore out? He hasn't played games. He should be fit, But look, he done really well, and I was very impressed with Odegaard. Who were you impressed with, man? AFC.
Pardon?
Who was your man of the match?
Nketiah.
Yeah, fair play. Anything else you want to say?
I just think, top 4's back on now. I think we've got to beat Man United. They look to be a complete and utter mess. So I think we've got to win and, hope that Spurs drop points. I'm not sure who they're playing. But top 4's back on now. We need to get that win against United. And, I think we need to get Nketiah on that new contract.
And Spurs are playing Brentford away next. What do you think that result will be?
Well, I think Spurs will probably win. They look to be in good form. I know they just lost to Brighton, but they should be able to win that game. Hopefully, they'll slip up in some other game where we can get a win later on.
And do you think that we'll get a result against United, as from what you've seen yesterday against Liverpool?
Yeah, I think so. United seem to not be able to defend, so I think we should be able to get the win. Hopefully.
Big up to you, man. Fair play. Look, come here. I'll tell you one thing. You're fair play. No matter what, win, lose or draw, you always come on my show and you give it out and you dish it out to me and to everyone else, and I respect that big time. Fair play to you, buddy. Do you want to shout out any of your socials or anything?
Go follow AFC 1888 News. That's the only thing I'll say.
Fair play to you. Thanks a million for coming on, okay?
Okay.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, mate.
You too.
Bye-bye. BK, what's the bleeding story with you? How are you?
Hey, man. First of all, I want to say congratulations on 500. Your content's been fire since I've actually seen it. So I just want to put that out there. And what Craig says is absolutely right. With I hope that 600 comes sooner. This channel deserves it. So I just want to start off with that. As far as the game, I mean, I'll be honest with you. That looked like a FIFA game that you played. When you play FIFA and you're like, it's end to end. You're like, what the hell happened? Because I did not expect Chelsea to be that poor, and I think that's the story of the game. I think the manager situation at Arsenal doesn't change. And that's a story for a different day because today's like a London derby. But Chelsea were poor, man. I mean, maybe I don't know. I have no idea what the hell happened with them. I didn't expect that performance out of them. And then in a way,
we
I'm
got
happy
made
because I
to
think,
look
like,
poor though.
banter
We
like
were
like
poor.
Chelsea
They
made,
made
but
us look poor. They made us look poor.
you think so?
They made us look. Yes, listen, look. At the end of the day, Chelsea have got a better team than Arsenal's. But if you don't turn up on the day, Arsenal wanted it more. It's the team that wants it the most will win.
No, I get that. I get that, but at the same time, we could say that about
I'm a Chelsea fan, mate. I'm telling you, they deserve to win. They deserve to win. After that, there wasn't much. You can't. No one can say to me that, oh, there wasn't much in it. It was just we were poor. They wanted it more. They defended better. You got to give Arsenal credit.
I don't know if I can hear you guys. Can you say something?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Carlos, how are you, mate? Just let Carlos in there. How are you doing, buddy?
Huh. I can't hear you. Hold on.
I wish Thomas Tuchel could hear me. I'm gonna criticize the hell out of him today.
Manny, I'll come back to you, mate. Who stood out for you today, Manny?
Oh, for me? It's hard to say, really. I've been following the highlights online. I don't really get the chance to watch Arsenal these days, but I have been following them online. I think what really surprised me a great deal was how Xhaka seemed to be a little bit more improved, if you will. I think, one thing which I can definitely gather was that the team was a lot more courageous, and I think they all went out there with this ideology that, it's now or never, balls to the wall. Let's just go out there and give it our best. And I think, when Xhaka is on form, he can definitely dominate the midfield. And I think he deserved some credit for, I think, one or two of the Arsenal goals. And he certainly, I think, did a lot to answer a few more critics. The only problem is, he is really temperamental. And how that guy was given the captaincy, it just goes to show that ever since we lost Patrick Vieira and Thierry Henry, we don't really have have too many leaders in the team these days. And for all the talk about how Kieran Tierney might be an upcoming leader, the fact that he's so injury prone might just rule him out of that possibility. So it's good to see they've done well. I think Xhaka deserves quite a bit of credit, but he needs to keep his cool. He needs to keep his head. And I'll tell you what, if he doesn't perform well, then we can definitely kiss that top four goodbye. He seems to be a bit of a fulcrum. And he's also as inconsistent as the team. Warren, good to see you, sir.
Warren, what's the crack? What's the bleeding story? Thanks for coming in, mate.
That's all right. I'm feeling a bit knackered, so I'm not going to stay on very long, mate, if that's all right.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem. I'll give you the floor. What do you have to say?
No, I'm really pleased about the win, obviously. I'm still worried about moving forward. I mean, it just worries me that we got this manager. I don't think long term is the answer. I know we won 4-2 tonight, but you've seen Chelsea getting thumped 4-1 at home by Brentford and conceding 3 at home against Real Madrid. So I just think people need to keep their feet on the ground, not get overexcited. And, last 4 games, we weren't able to do that against Crystal Palace, Brighton or Southampton. So, I just think there's a problem in that team with arrogance and motivation. If you're playing against lesser teams, they're probably going out onto the pitch thinking, we're the Arsenal. We just need to turn up and it's going to be in the bag. Maybe I'm being negative. Do you know what I mean? But, that's what I think. I just think and they're all singing that Mikel Arteta song again tonight.
Your favorite song,
right? No, but it's a good win. It is. It might be a good morale boosting victory for the lads, but they just need to keep their feet on the ground. And these are the times when you need to stay calm, stay focused, not get carried away, and not get ahead of yourself. As soon as you start doing that, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Kyle, what happened in the last few games? Like, how come we didn't perform like this in the last few games? What do you think is the problem there?
Personally speaking, I think Warren hit the nail on the head. I think Arsenal, they're like the fans. They're a crowd of flip-flops. They're up and down, up and down. They went out against Brighton, Crystal Palace, and Southampton.
5 games doesn't mean a good player.
And I think that they think that all they have to do is to show up, go to the Arsenal, and they can beat these teams. And it doesn't work that way. And then the other game for the Chelsea game tonight, both Chelsea were poor tonight and have been poor for the last few weeks. They're defensively, I think Chelsea are suffering. And I'd like to ask the Chelsea fan that's in the chat here, what does he think about Lukaku? Because I think there's something going on there with Lukaku and Tuchel. What is the story with Lukaku, bud? As a Chelsea fan, where do you stand on that?
I think the problem is obviously that interview that came out and Lukaku saying the things that he did about Inter Milan and Chelsea. Now the thing is this, look, he said it and he's our player now. Do we hold it against him for this whole season? Do we put pressure on him? Do we just like hang him up on the wall and just treat him like rubbish and just throw him away? Or do we try and get the best out of him? You have to make good of a very bad situation. And a lot of Chelsea fans don't like him. He wasn't my choice anyway. I wanted Lewandowski. That was pushing it, but we had 100 million to spend. But ultimately, Lukaku's there, and I'd rather get as much as we can out of him. Like, you guys have got Nketiah, you've got no choice. So you want to get the best out of him, don't you? You want to get, as you know, the most, anything you can get out of him, even if it's a couple of goals. Yes. Now, Lukaku, yes, he's been off, but the team's not set up for Lukaku. I've said this before to many Chelsea fans. If Antonio Conte had this team, Lukaku would be fighting. It's as simple as that. He doesn't fit the system. The problem with Chelsea is we buy players not because they fit the system, but just because they're good players. We buy quantity. We don't buy quality at all. And we don't buy players suited to the system. Now, today, my issue with Thomas Tuchel is this. One of our creative players, you bring him on with 10 minutes to go. What's your problem, Tuchel? And I've said this, the great Thomas Tuchel, he's a cup manager. And I don't think we'll ever win a Premier League with him, but I'm willing to give him the time because of what he's won. But ultimately today, we are a one-dimensional team. We really are. The way we play, the way we set up, the way we move the ball, and the way we attack teams, we are very one-dimensional. If Mount and Kante are not there, we are in serious trouble. And Rudiger, we are in serious trouble. And Rudiger won't be there next year. A lot of Chelsea fans are not going to like next season because we need a rebuild. It's going to be a rocky season next season. So whatever we can win this season, which is the FA Cup, hopefully, that might be it for a while. But in terms of Lukaku, listen, look, he needs to be sold. We need to get like whatever we can and then just spend the money elsewhere. And it's just, the problem is the board. We've kind of got like the Man United board. Our director of football or head of recruitment, they're not really that good. I mean, director of football is not really that good in terms of you're letting players' contracts run down, especially important players like Rudiger. And ultimately, it's going to cost us next season, and it's cost us this season as well because he's been in the news so much. He's flirting with so many clubs. Timo Werner is flirting with clubs as well. That's why he's playing well. He's playing for a move. He's not playing for the badge because he said it himself, I prefer it in Germany. I prefer play for the German club, which is fine. Look, he said it, but he's playing well. He's probably our best player today. Him and Kante, I thought, were exceptional today. But ultimately, Thomas Tuchel has got to sort this team out. We are extremely inconsistent at home. Our home form is awful. It's what's cost us competing for the league. I think that's our 6th loss, if I'm not mistaken, at home. So, and we've conceded so many goals. Defensively, we've not been great, and we're known for a great defense. If we don't have a good defense, we're not known for attacking. Even though we play 3 up front, We play 3 up front, and I don't think all of our attackers combined have scored more than 60 goals. That's what's worrying for me. You can't play 3 up front and not have much conviction. I think Arsenal's style of play is better than ours. I've always said that because we play slow, predictable football. But if it wins you games, you can't argue. But it's not winning us games. And if you remember last season, Tuchel is just about getting top 4 again. Okay, we're going to get 3rd. So we're going to get top 4 again, and we're going to be in a cup final. How we move forward there's a big question mark for me for next season. And I'm not going to lie to you right now. I'll say it right now. I don't think we make top 4 next year.
Wow, that's a big statement there. Look, guys, I have 1 or 2 as well waiting backstage, but I can only have 6 on at the minute. But I'm
Right.
just gonna.
Del Boy, I'll go. Big up to you.
Thanks a million for coming on to me. Cheers, mate.
I said I would. And I'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll chat soon, mate.
God bless all of you.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye. I'm just gonna bring this fella in. What's the bleeding story, Brandon?
See that there? Yeah, I was just listening to what that geezer just had to say. That's a winning mentality. Yeah, winning mentality. A fan with a winning mentality. He's talking about Tuchel and how he's not happy with him, and about the Premier League title and stuff like that. Chelsea have made it to 5 finals under Thomas Tuchel. This will be their 6th final, and their fan base is still not happy. Arsenal fans are sitting here going, "Hey, we've got Mikel Arteta. He's the best looking Spaniard in the world. Oh, he makes little poses at the sidelines like this." Yeah? That is the difference. That's the big difference. But on tonight, it could be irrelevant. I'm not going to sit here and get excited. We beat Chelsea. Yeah, it's something that I didn't expect. I don't think any real football fan expected us to win this game tonight because of our recent run of form. But it could all be irrelevant if we do the typical Arsenal thing and go and lose against Manchester United at the weekend. So I'm not going to get excited. I'm just going to take it one game at a time. What I will say is credit to Eddie Nketiah tonight because he worked very hard and he deserved his goals, 100%. He took a lot of criticism, but he got his goals tonight. Hopefully that will give him a little bit of confidence because it looks like he's going to be our striker for the rest of the season at least, because Mikel Arteta likes him. So, it is what it is. And also, I'm going to credit Arteta a little bit because he's actually found, at the 3rd time of asking, a way of dealing with our injuries. Bringing in El Neni into the midfield rather than Lokonga and using his experience, we looked a little bit better in the midfield. Playing a 3 at the back, a 5 at the back, we looked a little bit more fluid going forward, as well as not taking anything too much away from the defence. Although, Chelsea's 2 goals tonight, I thought we defended really, really poorly, especially Ben White. Ben White, a lot of Arsenal fans have got to look at this guy, 50 million quid. And just recently, he has been so poor. And you got to expect more than that from a £50 million signing. Turning your back on things and getting caught out the way that he did for Chelsea's 2nd goal is just, it's unacceptable for a player of that value. Do you know what I mean? But aside from that, the thing I couldn't foresee, because even I didn't give us a prayer tonight. I don't know whether you see my tweets, Del Boy, but I was absolutely bagging on the Belgian Stormzy to score a hat-trick against us. It didn't happen, mate. It didn't happen. But I was absolutely betting on that because that would have been the typical Arsenal thing. But what I didn't foresee is that Thomas Tuchel is Arteta in. He's Arteta in. Because if he wasn't, he would have played Rudiger. He would have played Thiago Silva. He wouldn't have mixed it up like he did. and he would have took us a little bit more seriously, but more for them. But at the end of the day, let's be true about it. Chelsea, they're not going to win the league. They're too far away from winning the league. They're not going to get dragged into the top 4 race because, once again, they're too far away, I believe, to get dragged into the top 4. So third is their third is theirs this season. So now they've just got to concentrate on, their final, and they've got other things to think about. So I suppose to them, tonight was kind of irrelevant. It's all right keeping up with winning ways and stuff like that, but it was more important to us than what it was to them. But I'm also going to say that I don't think we was under. It was a typical Arsenal thing again. I don't think we was under that much pressure tonight, because if we're all being real here, nobody expected us to win. So therefore, although there's the pressure on us to win the game in order for us to keep our top 4 hopes alive, at the same time, nobody give us a prayer. Nobody. So that also takes away the pressure. It also means that, the players and Arteta don't feel as much pressure because nobody is expecting them to pick up the 3 points. And that's when we perform best. Now, when we go into Saturday, we're playing before Spurs. So we have to pick up the 3 points against Manchester United. And for as poor as Manchester United have been this season, and they have been absolutely diabolical, shocking, it would just about be the typical Arsenal thing for us to lose. It would. So, that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, no, well done to Arsenal tonight. That's it.
But it always happens when we play United. Whenever we play United, no matter how bad they are, they always beat us. All the time.
Absolutely.
It's happened so many times down the years that we've seen that. So what I'm trying to say is I just think we need to keep our feet on the ground, not get carried away, because tonight we scored 4 goals, and that's more goals we've scored since all the games we've played since the middle of March. So there's a big problem there. But you're spot on, Brandon. You really are, mate.
Yeah, and at least 3 of them goals were gifted to us as well, if we're being real.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, Nketiah's first goal was gifted to us, and Nketiah's second goal, was a lucky deflection that fell into his path, and even so much up to the Smith Rowe goal as well. I thought we worked it well on the edge of the box, but Chelsea gave it back to us again in the dangerous position. So it's like, well, 3 of them goals out of the 4 were gifted to us. You could even go on the 4th as the penalty. What was Azpilicueta doing?
Yeah.
But also, let's not forget that Chelsea are practically safe in 3rd. It wouldn't have mattered if they won the game 10-0, lost it 10-0, they would have still stayed 3rd. So, what was the motivation for them?
You see, I have problems. And the problems is this. We have no hope beating Man United Saturday. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. And the other thing is, we're fighting there. Everybody is celebrating tonight, getting all fucking excited about getting top 4. Who the fuck wants top 4? We should be fighting for number fucking 1. Liverpool and Man City are out there trying to get number 1, and we're out fighting to get number 4. This is Arsenal Football Club, lads. We're not talking about fucking Brentford and fucking Burnley. It just sickens me. And now they're all singing Arteta, fuck off out of the club. Simple. We're going nowhere fast, lads. Everyone's getting excited. We bet Chelsea tonight. Chelsea were poor tonight. It's like what Brandon said. 3 of those goals were gifted. I don't know where we're going from here. I honestly don't. Lads coming on your channel the other day and they're saying that we are the stupid ones. Let's see how fucking stupid we are when it comes to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm going to shoot
Let's see how stupid we are then. And by the way, I just want to say a couple of points here that I saw during the week that I'm absolutely fuming over. Who the fuck is that to say? Coming out saying he wants Champions League football, that he's missing Champions League football. Would it not fucking suit him better than to score goals and get us into fucking Champions League football instead of talking shit the whole time? Eddie Nketiah came out tonight, he played well. But I see him there being talking, running his mouth there during the week as well. If you're not happy with the club, lads, it's very simple. Fuck off office. You know what I mean? And then they're getting these lads in about the culture of the club. The fucking culture of the club. Would you ever fuck off? Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
What are you to pop off there? Thanks a million for coming on, mate.
No, you're welcome. It's lovely seeing you all. Take care.
Please subscribe.
Mate.
Cheers.
If I can just come in right now, I mean, what Hanif said before he left was a little bit profound, because if you listen carefully, all of those issues that he was mentioning with Chelsea, we've got the same problems at Arsenal. We're letting players run down their contracts before they leave. Lacazette and Nketiah are two prime examples. We lost Aubameyang. I mean, there's so many people who are going to say that, you know, he had to leave because he wasn't delivering the goods, but people forget that he won the Golden Boot twice in 2 full seasons with us, yeah? And I could go on and on about how Arteta has a lot for which to answer in terms of basically mucking up Aubameyang's game with his stupid tactics. He lost the Europa League last season in both legs with some bonehead tactics and bonehead decisions. But I think, as Hanif said, just as Tuchel wasn't able to get his system around to suit Lukaku's strengths, Arteta was never able to get the best out of Aubameyang. And I think it was a case of Aubameyang saying, you know what, I can't hack it anymore. It's sad because early in the season, I think Aubameyang really did well in the North London derby, which we won 3-1, I think. So I don't know what could have happened for the whole situation to deteriorate the way it did. I'm sorry for the stammer. I'm a bit excited. I hope you can understand that. To be on the live stream. Yeah. But so we've got the same issues as well. We don't have anywhere near the quality of players that Chelsea have. I mean, I'd bite my arm off to get at least 1 or 2 players from Chelsea's bench to come over to Chelsea right now. And we're going to be in a huge need of rebuilding as well, because several starters and fringe players will be leaving. So we've got issues as well. And let's not pretend, as people have said, that Mikel Arteta will be the person to take us to that next level. Even if we get top 4, I mean, getting top 4 might be the worst thing that could possibly happen, because it will convince people that Arteta's the man for the job. He will end up staying. And then next season, we're going to have another huge dip in form, followed by another upturn in form, and vice versa. Another inconsistent season. We may lose the Champions League altogether, and we don't need any of that. Julian, good evening to you. I will let you come in. But
good evening.
I'm going to listen to what Julian says, and then maybe I'll come in a bit later. Yeah.
What's the story with you?
What's the story? Arsenal won. All the doubters thought that we were going to get hammered, and what happens? We do the hammering. So I'm sure we must all be happy with that. Or is anyone unhappy at that performance?
No, everyone is happy, right? But
good.
Don't tell me you thought we were going to win this game, because you're fucking lying.
When I open my mouth, only the truth comes out.
Fuck off, will you?
Only the truth comes out. Look, for me, I was surprised. I was really surprised we lost the last 3 games. It was a shocking performance this first half at Palace. Tactically, we were very naive against Brighton. Southampton, I thought we were unfortunate, but I also understood it still wasn't up to it. I looked at Chelsea, the fact that, you know, they have been quite erratic the last few weeks since the sanctions were brought in. They got pretty much hammered at home by Brentford. They're pretty secure in 3rd place. So you want to be playing teams that have very little to play for. The fact that they won their FA Cup semi-final on Sunday, I thought very much played into our hands. And also they had 1 day's less recovery time. They were on a high. it was very much after the Lord Mayor show for them. But to be fair, we took advantage of that. And we took advantage of that really well. I thought that their 2 goals that they scored, the first one, I think there was a large fortune of luck in there. It took a deflection. I haven't seen the replay, but from where I was stood and watching it, it looked like it should have been an easy save for Ramsdale, and the deflection wrong-footed him. And the second goal, again, I've only seen it live, so you guys probably can correct me if I'm totally wrong with this, but it looked like there was a foul in the build-up by Chelsea. But taking that out, they still won 4-2, and I think it was well deserved, and it was every kind of performance that we want as an Arsenal fans, because there was enthusiasm, there was skill. But also, to give Arteta his dues, he changed things. And tactically, it worked. So, for me, it's a perfect night, because not only did we see Arsenal win, but I also enjoyed seeing the demise of Chelsea, because I can't stand Chelsea. So, it's kind of, it's double bubble, double joy.
But Julian. What I will say to you is, like, the 2 goals was awful defending by us. Like, fair enough, there was a foul, but it wasn't really a foul, because Ben White just fell over like my 10-year-old son.
Yeah.
It did take a bit of a deflection. I thought Ramsdale should have made a better sort of.
Ramsdale. No excuses. Ramsdale should have saved that.
Should have saved it.
There's no other excuse either. Xhaka turned his back on the ball. Absolutely fucking scandalous.
Yeah. Xhaka turning his back on the ball.
It's very difficult. I'm not sort of saying I'm right or I'm wrong. What I will say, it's very difficult when you haven't seen things. I've seen it live. Talking about the falling over, this is something really interesting, because I mean, it's one thing you wouldn't have seen, but before the game and at half time, Chelsea were watering the pitch massively. Now, for me, that is a deliberate attempt at I call it cheating, because a few Chelsea players did fall over, but Arsenal players were falling over a lot more than Chelsea players were. I mean, should Arsenal been wearing different studs? But there was one goal that I thought Arsenal should have scored, but I think Saka just completely lost his footing, and it looked like a definite goal that was going to happen. And the guy just falls over, slips over. If it was a one-off, you'd think, okay. But it wasn't a one-off. Arsenal players were slipping over 3-4 times more than Chelsea players. There was something very fundamentally wrong with what Chelsea were doing with that pitch.
Can I ask you a question, Julian?
You can ask me as many as you want.
How much of that performance do you think was down to Arsenal and in the way that we played compared to Chelsea just being poor? Because for me, I think Thomas Tuchel is Arteta in, mate. The way that he set up for that game and took his 2 main defenders out and stuff like that, I think it played pretty much into our hands, and we didn't really have to do much. All 4 of our goals were pretty much gifted to us, in my opinion.
To answer that question, I think the way Chelsea played suited us, and the way other teams play against the lesser teams, the way they play, and they condense the play and make it very difficult for us to attack, and they basically strangle us. It doesn't work. It's very difficult to break down. Now, football should be an entertainment. Tonight's game, whichever way that game went, it was a good game. It's what you come to football to see. So, yes, Tuchel didn't play particularly defensive. He didn't play defensive at all. And Arsenal took advantage of that. And it was a great game, and I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I would agree. That was a very leading question. The way Chelsea played suited us. And it wasn't just Chelsea played poorly. Chelsea played without... They defended high up the pitch. So it was a really good move to put Nketiah up front, because Nketiah's got a bit of speed, whereas Lacazette just doesn't have the speed. I mean, if you look at that first goal, yes, it was a mistake by the Chelsea defender. However, if you'd had Lacazette in that position, that wouldn't have been a goal. He just doesn't have the turn of speed that Nketiah has. Now, Nketiah's not the greatest player in the world. You know, there's no argument to have there. But what he does have is speed, and speed frightens defenders. And Lacazette just simply doesn't have that. So the fact that Arteta kind of bit the bullet there, maybe it was forcing him, maybe that Lacazette still isn't fully fit. I'd be very, very disappointed if Arteta puts Lacazette in for the game on Saturday, because it obviously works having speed up front. And if it's not Nketiah, it should be Martinelli, but not Lacazette. Lacazette just doesn't seem to work for me.
There was another issue earlier on with the games against Brighton and Southampton, I think, where Tavares was taken off quite early. I don't think he was given that much trust. But, not against Southampton, but against Brighton, I think he was taken off. But I think...
I think he was dropped against Brighton, if I remember right. He was taken off. He was taken off against Forest after about 20 minutes, and he was taken off at half time against Palace.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that. But since then, he's played a couple of games. Do you think he's got his confidence back now?
Yeah, I think that's one. It's an interesting thing with young players. When they're playing well, they're great. But it doesn't seem to take a lot to knock their confidence. And football, as with most things in life, is based very much on confidence. And I remember I interviewed a guy called Keith Edelman, who was the previous managing director of Arsenal. And he told a story of how he was asked by the Bald and Liam Brady to go and speak to Arsene Wenger, to encourage Arsene Wenger to put in more younger players. And Arsene Wenger refused. And the reason he gave is that they can cost him points, and they do cost points, but for long term you need to play them, and you have to accept that they are going to make more mistakes than the established players. What Arteta did today in one sense was a little bit of bottling, because he took out Lokonga, who is in effect Arsenal's future, and put in El Neni. Now it worked. Now for the short term, what we needed was 3 points. So by putting in El Neni, and I think for me, he had a really, really good game, El Neni. But he probably won't be there next season, where Lokonga's our future. But you have to make these sacrifices sometimes. So you can't always just play the young players when they're losing confidence. It's a really difficult balance to have to, obviously hauling off Tavares after 20 minutes and then hauling him off at half time isn't going to do great for his confidence. But Arteta was trying to balance things out. So it's a really tough call. And whichever way you do it, it could not work out. And for both those games, it didn't work out, because we still lost at Forest and we still lost at Palace, and he hauled him off. So it's like a double blow. You ruin the guy's confidence even more, and you lost the game. However, the flip side to young players losing confidence quickly, they can gain it quickly as well. And I think what you're seeing is a really good prospect of a player. Earlier in the season, Tavares was keeping Tierney out of the team. And there was an argument for him replacing Tierney. I didn't believe he was ready for it then. I said that, I think it was against Wimbledon. I thought he was playing really well. So there's obviously a player in there. You don't just play to that standard and not have the ability. He's got the ability to be a good player, but like a lot of young players, if you have a bad moment, it can lead to a confidence crisis, and that's what happened.
For me, Tavares not good enough defensively. Again tonight, the second goal, I watched him let his man run across him, which again, like you was just saying yourself, he's a young man. He's got to learn his trade. Yeah. He's not going to be the finished article yet. But for me, he's a lot better going forward. I'd think about playing him in a different role. Maybe stick with the back three and play wing backs if you're going to play Tavares. He definitely looks more comfortable going forward. But how's he going to learn if you don't put him in? So this is the balance I was talking about. You can play them; they will make mistakes, but ultimately you're looking at long term. And me personally, I just need to end it for this. So I've got to rush for my train. Me personally, I'm looking for long term love, not short term passion. So that's what Arteta can potentially give us. And on that note, I will bid you a very, very good night. Thank you for having me on your show yet again, Mr. Del Boy, and a pleasure virtually meeting the rest of you.
Cheers for coming on.
Good man,
Be
Julian.
safe, Julian.
All right, cheers.
Take
Bye.
care,
Bye.
All right. There you go. DK, I'll come to you. I haven't come to you in a few minutes.
it's all
What do you
cool.
make of that?
No, I'll put it this way. Like, I kind of disagree with him because what he just said, like at the end, is long-term love versus short-term passion. All these players are gonna like. All right, so if you hang with idiots, you're gonna become an idiot. That's just what I believe. So in Arteta, if is he the top guy? Like, he hasn't done stuff. He hasn't really done anything, and I feel like players are gonna go as far as he does. And for that's the reason I disagree with him, because I mean, we won today. Congrats. We enjoyed the win. I mean, there's reasons for that, like local reasons. But at the end of the day, long term wise, we're going as far as Arteta versus the rest of like the Premier League, and I still think he's not going to get us. He's not going to bring the best elite out of the players. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
in the long run.
No, that's fair enough. Kyle, I'll just come to you. What do you make of Julian's comments?
So Julian is an Arteta. He's one of these lads that, you know, that's the problem at the Arsenal, in my eyes. These fans, that's shouting for Arteta, they're just, you know, they're delusional. Fair play to Julian, he has his opinion of us. I said the other night, and I say it again, he's delusional. Tavares there, Brandon said there that he planned to bring back. I wouldn't have Tavares nowhere near Arsenal Football Club. He's not good enough. Like, we're trying to, like, I want my club up at the very top, lads. That's when I talk about Arsenal. I talk about Arsenal the same brackets as the top clubs in world football. And these lads that's representing our club are not fucking good enough. Mm-hmm. And it's Arteta and Edu that bought these fucking Egypts in. Ben White, 50 million. I wouldn't give 50 cents for him. Mm-hmm. The same with Tavares. He's not fucking good. And they're on about Lungango. I can't even pronounce Lungango or whatever his name is in midfield.
Just call him Sambi.
Sambi. He's like, they're saying that he has the potential and all that. He's 23 years of age. Fabregas was 17 and he was running the show. This is the difference. Like, if we keep on playing average player stats, we may expect average fucking results. It's as simple as that.
Actually, this question, this comment right here. Do you see any player reaching that level of like of a Messi at this club ever?
No.
Unless we change. So the only way we're going to get there is if we change. We have to change a big structure, right? I think we maybe could get there, but like we got to change the entire structure. We don't got the right structure, so then why are we like still sticking around?
Well, you say to be honest, you say
but this is because the fan base, mate. Yeah. There's two variables in the football club that can change and alter the standards. And when I say standards, I mean the mentality of the winning, whether you want to win or not. One's the owners and one's the fan base. And if the owners are not interested in doing it, then it's up to the fan base to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, but too many of these fans are, I don't know what it is about Mikel Arteta. And this is the one thing that pisses me off about Julian. Like, respect to the guy. He comes on, he has his opinion. And look, it's his opinion. And that's about all it is. But for me, you know, I look at it like this. How many of these Arteta sexuals wanted Unai Emery gone? Do you know what I mean? Pretty much all of them. Yeah. And when you ask them, why did you want Unai Emery sacked? I can guarantee you that they'll say, oh, because we finished 5th and we lost the Europa League final and it was an embarrassment. Or they'll say, yeah, but Unai Emery's left Arteta a mess. Well, Unai Emery lost against Crystal Palace and Brighton, yeah, which cost us top 4. Mikel Arteta has just lost to Crystal Palace and Brighton. But where was the same energy for this guy? You know, that could cost us top 4. But where was the same energy for this guy? And then the whole thing about Emery left Arteta a mess. Well, no, Emery wanted Wilfried Zaha. He got given Nicolas Pepe. He wanted Nkunku, who's doing absolute bits at RB Leipzig. He got given Lucas Torreira. He wanted Harry fucking Maguire. Thank God we didn't get him. Yeah, but he got given Socrates. So who actually left the mess? Was it Unai Emery or was it this board? It was this board.
Yeah.
This board also run the process that you lot are all telling us to trust. So are you telling me that not only are you Arteta in and you trust this guy, but you also trust this board until things go wrong? And then people start saying, yeah, well, Kroenke out. You know, it's Kroenke's fault. But when we're on a winning run of games, like we was earlier on in the season, nobody talks about Kroenke. Do you know why? Because they don't believe the fucking shit that comes out of their mouth. Now, for me, I'm very similar to my man there, Kyle. Yeah?
Yeah.
I look at it like this. 18 years ago, Arsenal smashed down a stadium to become the team that competes every single season with Europe's elite. Now, that team is Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea. 5 finals since Tuchel has come in. They're going into their 6th final now. They're the team that wins. They win. Yeah, that's what we smashed down a stadium to become. Since we smashed that stadium down, we've had nothing but youth projects and processes. And, it takes 4 years. It takes 3 years. Trust the process. He's the best looking Spaniard we know. Arsene Wenger coming out with top 4 is a trophy. Yeah. All this bullshit that gets fed to this fan base and they just eat it up, eat it up, eat it up. When are you going to start using your brains for one, right? Arsenal Football Club, under this regime, under the Kroenke's regime, will never, ever, ever, ever win another Premier League title until they fuck off, right? And the only way that we are going to get them out of the club and the rest of the idiots that we employ currently and bring back the trophies and the winning mentality and everything else that comes with that is if the fan base come together and put pressure on them to make sure that happens. But while they're all sitting there going, we've just beat Chelsea tonight, so Arteta, he gets another 2 months in his job. No. No. He spent £250 million. He is nearly 3 years into his job. And even now, he is still struggling to get us into Champions League. And we're up against the worst Manchester United team I've ever seen in my life. And a Tottenham team that were absolutely in the mud before they employed the world-class manager of Antonio Conte. But yet, Arsenal fans say, we've improved. Man United fans say, we're the worst Manchester United team we've ever been. So even Spurs say, well, if we hadn't had Nuno at the beginning of the season, then maybe we'd be there or thereabouts. But even so, we've had a poor season. But Arsenal fans look at it like, we've had a great season because we're in a fight for the top 4. Well, tonight, we've just conceded 2 goals, which equals the same amount of goals that we conceded last season with Kolasinac, Rob Holding, Socrates. Do you know what I mean?
Becky.
But all these players that are now in our defence are Mikel Arteta players. Like tonight, Rob Holding is a Mikel Arteta player. He gave him a new contract. Yeah? Ben White signed him for 50 million quid. He signed Gabriel. He signed Nuno Tavares. He signed Cedric. These are all his players. And people tell us that he's improved us defensively. Well, it's there in black and white. It's there in black and white. And unless, we scored 4 goals tonight, but unless we score 6 goals in our remaining 6 games, we actually stand to score less goals than what we did last season. So where's the improvement? Have we actually improved? Or is it that Manchester United and Spurs and everybody else below us and around us have been that crap this season that it's made us look better than what we are?
100%.
Can I say one?
That's the truth of us. That's the truth. Man United and Spurs are so bad. Nobody wants 4 spot, lads. They're all throwing games away. Man United, that's the worst Man United team I ever saw.
They're
And
fucking
they're
you.
going to beat Arsenal on Saturday. Guaranteed. And this, I'll tell you the truth, it just sickens me because the fans now are all up in roar. Oh, yeah, Arteta in 4. We're going to get 4th. We're going to get 4th. And I know I keep saying this. Fuck 4th fucking spot. And it's not fucking Wenger that fucking bought that in the first place. I was calling for Wenger to go off 6 years before he actually did go off. He overstayed his welcome. We knocked down Highbury then, like Brandon said, to fucking compete with Barcelona, Real Madrid. We can't compete in the Premier League. And if we don't get 4 spots, can you imagine what will happen to us in the Champions League next year? We'll be made a fucking laughing stock of.
Yeah. This is what I said at the start. If we do get the top 4, can you imagine Bayern Munich, Barca, Real Madrid coming to the Emirates? We would get fucking smashed.
They were beating us
up and down.
fucking 5 and 6 and 7-1 under Wenger's reign. Can you imagine what to do under this fucking clown's reign?
Manny, I'll bring you in, mate. Manny, I'll bring you in, mate. Can we beat Man United on Saturday?
It depends. If Rangnick does not make the mistake of playing Phil Jones again, then probably it might be difficult. If Jones comes back in, then yes, we have a chance. And let's bear in mind that, United are going to have Ronaldo back in. So regardless of how awful they are defensively, as long as you have Ronaldo, you will have a chance. And the match against Norwich, who are soon to be relegated, is perfect proof of that. But Brandon, I've just subscribed to your channel. I like seeing you on Lee Gunner's channel, and hopefully I'll get to see a lot more of your content. We talked about these 2 disgusting words. Youth project.
Manny.
Yeah.
Manny, just 1 second, mate. Just 1 second. I think Brandon just has to go. I just want to give him a chance to shout out his channel and stuff like that. So go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, no worries. Just real quick on the Man United thing. It's a battle of the 2 worst teams in the the worst teams in this top 4 races is what I would say. But don't be surprised if you see my mate Ronaldo doing his soo around the Emirates and Jesse Lingard doing his little dancing, right? Because that's the typical Arsenal thing. We beat Chelsea and then we go and lose to this worst Manchester United team. It would not surprise me one little bit. But listen, appreciate you having me on, Del.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Anytime.
It's been nice talking to everybody on the panel as well.
Nice talking to you, Brian. Good, man. I'm going to subscribe to your channel there, buddy, and I'll give you a DM there.
Appreciate that. And yeah, anybody who hasn't subscribed to my channel, make sure you head over to True Gunners TV for the facts. We talk facts about the club.
Cheers, man. Thanks a million. Talk to you soon.
Cheers.
There, Brandon.
Fair play. Sorry, Manny. Sorry for interrupting you there, mate. Walk away. Brandon just said he had to go. That's all.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. I mean, I would want to get his opinion on it. But you realise that these 2 words, youth project, have been really dirty words that have been used by Arsenal over the years. And yet when it comes to these 2 words, youth project, the best manager when it comes to dealing with youth projects has been one Sir Alexander Ferguson. Because we all talk about the class of 92 and how he was able to bed them in. But there's a way in which you bed your youngsters, and Ferguson knew how to do that. And he was able to win in the process. The idea is that when he was developing Ryan Giggs in the early part of the 90s, I think, when that was the period when they won their first the first Premiership, breaking that 26-year hoodoo. He was saying that Giggs being 18 at the time, you can't simply play him every day. You've got to train him and coach him and make sure that he develops his talent. And even with the class of 92, he never just bled them in and gave them games, a straight run of games without any interruptions. He had to bleed them in gradually and make sure that they learnt their trade and learnt on the job playing with the world-class players that were in that team. Now, as long as Wenger had those world-class players, he was able to develop quite a few youngsters, Fabregas being example. But young players suffer when they don't have really good players alongside them. And what we've got over here is nothing but an excuse for Arteta to keep playing all of these young players in consecutive games, playing them continuously. People like Saka and Smith Rowe, I've heard Lee Gunner say that they didn't deserve to be given the iconic 7 and 10 shirts so early in their careers, and he might have a bit of a point. But the worst part is that they're being played extensively. And you see how young they are. You see how burnt out they are at this stage of the season. Okay, Saka was good today, but when you give them so many games and don't give them adequate periods of rest, you are going to burn them out, and that's not going to be the best way to develop youth. I mean, you take a look at what's happened with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now, he wasn't really developed properly. He went to Liverpool. He's now won a Champions League and some other silverware. So Arsenal have now really deteriorated when it comes to developing youth and really working with youth projects. And we need to get a manager back in who understands the importance of being able to develop youth, but also at the same time making sure you win. And you can only get that if you've got some really good quality, skillful senior players, more experienced players who can really gel well with these youngsters. We don't have that at Arsenal. We don't have a manager who is capable of dealing with them. And I think we need to get ourselves a new manager who can at least do all of that and bring us back to that level. Arteta isn't that guy. I just don't know if any manager can. But if I can put this question to all three of you, who do you think in today's game as a manager would be best suited to develop the youth while also trying to bring back success?
Well, I'll go to BK there because you have to pop off. So
sorry, I should have edited that actually, like it's Bargav, but like
yeah, I know.
Like on the previous one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So that's a good question because everyone's made really good points today. Like, and I think this sometimes I just like listening and seeing what people got to say. So that's why sometimes I don't. So what Monty just said, like, I think that probably was one of the big mistakes Arteta made. I just don't think he worked with what he had. Like, he just came in like an authoritarian and be like, I want everything out. But I don't think that works because we have contracts. When contracts are in place, you're gonna have like, you can't do that. Like, it works with like a situation where contracts are running out. In our situation, we were stuck with some contracts, and I think he could have gotten a little bit more out of those players, and he really didn't do that in the first place. And we invested all this money into this guy without knowing like if he can actually develop talent. And I think that was like a big mistake. Now, as far as like his question, the coach I actually wanted was Tuchel, and he was actually, because he played every system at PSG with the best players. He's one of those guys I think like he knows like what he's doing. So a coach needs to like play every system and have that freedom. So for me, like there's only like maybe 10 coaches that can do that, and I just don't think Arsenal can get that, just because like where we've dropped off to at this point. Vieira would be a good option because I think like people would respect him. Me personally, I think people would respect him way more than Arteta. If you're like Saka or like someone.
Well, I'll throw this at you. Like Zidane's up to nothing. Enrique,
yeah.
Would you take any of them?
Absolutely. Like he knows how to talk to star players. He's the one who made Ronaldo like cool off and be like, go the whole season versus like how to pace himself and everything. The problem with Zidane is I think he like there's the English speaking issue with Zidane, and then there's also like the fact that I think France national team probably wants him like down the road, and I think he'll probably stick to the France jobs. Who else is out there? Like when you look at it, like realistically, like pedigree wise, there's really not that many.
Do you know? Like I know, and it's the top one for me would be Simeone. But what you've said there, and I think the sort of what happened Emery is the English barrier, the language barrier. I think that does fucking play into it because how else is Emery getting a tune out of Villarreal, out of fucking a pensioners team? He's able to speak the language. It is you know, it's a big obstacle, I think. You know, would you think Simeone could get by that? Like, you know, I don't think he even has one word of English.
No, I think the problem is like I don't know. All right, so he has a really good spot in Atletico. Like when you look at it, like La Liga, when you look at La Liga, like people don't like him.
Actually, he's also one of the top paid managers in the world.
Exactly.
I haven't found out that.
It's the most comfort zone because like if you go to Atletico, like there's a certain culture that he's established that does he really want to like just like completely tear that down and like come here and like rebuild that? Like I don't know if he wants to do that, but there's the other part of it with Atletico. I think people sometimes disrespect La Liga, but that's like the second best league in the world, right? So if you're like a top 4 and if you're in the Champions League, like you're like in the public eye. It's still it's almost like being in the Premier League at like a non like top four job basically. So for the most part, I look at it like Simeone. We can't get him. I just can't see. We can't get Simeone. We can't get Zidane. Like some of the coaches we can maybe get are like ex-national team. You know, like when you look at it, I feel like Nagelsmann. I don't think he's leaving Bayern either. Like when you look at the top coaches, we're selling for like 15 to like 20. If you go down the list, we're like selling for like 15, 20, 25.
But see, this is what I was saying. I done a video there yesterday or the day before or something like that, and I was just sort of saying in it, like we're Arsenal Football Club, and like Kyle there, I regard us as fucking like, you know, I regard every other team as cycling around in a little bike and I'm driving a big diesel fucking truck and I'm Arsenal. Get out of me fucking way, every other bastard that's in it, you know? And I think that for us, we should be able to go into nearly every, I'm saying nearly, okay, every club in Europe and just go, I want your manager. Yeah, get the fuck aside. I'll have a word with him. I'll tell him and I'll pay him fucking 8 million, 9 million, 10 million or whatever a year, whatever he wants, yeah, because I want him to manage this club. Because this club, as we all know, is the third biggest at the minute in England. So let's start fucking acting like a big club, you know, and if you're the third biggest in England, you're fairly up there in Europe as well and fairly high as well. So let's start acting like it. And that's the sort of thing, like, I know we won today and everything like that, you know, but let's start acting like a big club. You know, let's be ruthless with players as well. You know what I mean? What was sickening for me to hear that Haaland is fucking, his buyout clause was 65 million or something like that. You know, like I know he wouldn't go to us, but I'd like us to fucking try. You know, and just go to him, here, mate. We're buying out your fucking transfer fee. We'll match your wages what you want, because we're after getting rid of Aubameyang, you know, Ozil. They were all on big wages. Let's like Arsenal can't afford this. Lacazette is going to be gone. He's going to be on big wages. That's off the list as well. Let's throw it into a player like that, and you know what? Build a fucking team around him and just sell him a dream. We're going for Champions League this year. That's the aim. We've Saka, we've Smith Rowe, we've Martinelli, Tierney, Ramsdale, all these young players. We've Partey in the centre of midfield. We want you leading the line up front, and we're going to buy another centre midfielder. We're going to buy someone at the back as well, back up. We're going winning the league in the next year or two. You sell him a dream. Edu is just fucking thinking about, does he like jet skis? You know, fuck off. You know?
Yeah, I would like to, you know, I'm not going to lie. I would love to go to Crystal Palace and be like, we want your left back. Yeah, I mean, I would love us to be like that. I mean, we should be like that, honestly. I mean, establish our like presence. I mean, you got to do something. You got to do stuff like that. The problem is, I just don't know. I really don't know what this board. I don't know if they have like the fortitude, cojones, if you might ask. I mean, maybe Troy Deeney was right about the club in that sense.
You see,
hate to say it.
The story is that, like, for me personally speaking, I would go for Patrick Vieira tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I would.
I would for a big offer. Like, you have to think, they have to think about the board. Are they going to be given the money for the backup? Are they going to be 100% in charge of the transfers that they want? Or are they going to be influenced by the likes of from the board and Edo? Tell Edo to fuck off. Like, whoever's going to take over, they have a big job ahead of them because there's so much wrong at the club, it's not even funny. And starting from the very top, the whole way down to the tail Eddie Day.
Yeah, and you also look at
a lot of problems.
And I'll put it this way. There's two parts I'm going to say to this. I'll leave you with this. Look at every other team. Look at all the teams that are going to get better next year. Leicester, they're going to want to come back next year. Manchester United, they got two coaches thinking about the issue. They got, Ragnick and like Ten Hag are probably going to be like, we want to take down like Pep and Guardiola. That's their mentality next year, like hands down. You got Liverpool's going to be Liverpool. Man City's going to be Man City. Chelsea, we'll see what happens because I think they might have. It depends on their owners. But if they get new owners, they're going to want to come in and spend a lot of money just to like appease the fan base. Who else you looking at? Like Newcastle. Aston Villa is a surprising one. Like Nippon was talking about this yesterday. As like they're getting investment. They got like a new coach. They got a new culture they're trying to create. Newcastle Newcastle. So we're gonna be if they all. We got to like make sure we have a footing in this league, and we don't have that right now. We could be like 7th tomorrow, and it's going to get worse because I'll tell you what. I'll leave you with this. What makes people want to become an Arsenal fan right now? Like growing up, we had a little bit of swagger with ourselves, right? Like, growing up. I mean, after 2006, like we were going to we were taking on Barcelona. We were doing stuff, and we were doing stuff like. At a decent level that can be like, oh, maybe we can get to the next level, a high level. Right now, we got nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Right now, people are going to choose like Chelsea, Man United, and like Liverpool, and I don't even blame. Man City, and I don't even blame them sometimes. Like young kids.
Yeah, look,
I made that point. Remember, I made that point the other day. Going up the town, you see lads with Man City, Man United, Chelsea jerseys. You never see lads with Arsenal jerseys anymore.
Yeah,
it's a shame. I don't know who wants the jerseys anyway with that false badge on it. Bring back the real badge.
Yeah.
Matt, Bargav, thanks a million for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
No, it's great to have. It's great. I mean, great panelists you had on today. It was great just listening to like all the different opinions. So I'll catch you next time, and I'll catch you around for sure.
That's what happens when I have these phone calls. I just be sitting back, just listening to everyone. Like, you know what I mean? It's the quietest I to be all week.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Anyway, man, take care. Like, have a good day today. Enjoy somewhat what you can, and then I'll catch you throughout the week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks, and take care.
Take care, buddy.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. So I suppose my answer would be, I mean, obviously, when it comes to trying to get some of the more top-notch coaches like Simeone, as you've mentioned, Del, that could be a bit of a problem. But one coach that has gone a little bit under the radar has been Brendan Rodgers. Now, I'll talk about him just a little bit, and I'll get you guys' opinion on him. He obviously entered the Leicester team not long after Claudio Ranieri had worked his magic with Leicester winning the championship, and he's turned them into I wouldn't necessarily say a consistent team, but he's kept the spirits alive. They always punch above their weight, and he's been able to develop quite a few youngsters like James Justin. I think Wesley Fofana, who was teammates with William Saliba back in France before they moved to the Premiership, has also developed well. Obviously, they've lost Vardy for the rest of the season, which is a bit of a blow, but they still are quite consistent. I mean, I wouldn't say consistent, but they still, give it as good as they get. And they're also right now in the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League. If they win that, they get back into the Europa League. Now, he's obviously done really well at Leicester. He didn't quite make the grade at Liverpool. But he could possibly be a potential solution when it comes to getting a manager who could, work with some of the star players and make sure he gets them on his side, while also trying to make sure that the youth get, blended in without really overplaying them. So, do either of you think that Rodgers could be an option?
Kyle, do you want to go?
He will be an option. I'm sure he will be an option. I think he's done a good job at Leicester, and I think, unfortunately for him, they got a lot of injuries this season, and then they became inconsistent there. But I think you're right. He would work good with the youths, and he would work with the star players. He would be an option. Would he be my option? No, not for Arsenal. But I can see how the board would have him as an option. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Funny you said that. Before we got Arteta, he was probably him and what you call your man, the fucking Juventus manager, Allegri.
Yeah.
The two of them was the ones that I was sort of going, because at the time when it was hearing the rumours that Arteta might be getting, I was there, no. Like, please, fucking Brendan Rodgers is there, at least go for him, or like, please. That's what I was thinking, because I didn't want fucking, at the time I was thinking Patrick Vieira, maybe it's a bit too soon for him. Arteta, these were the rumours back then, and I was there, Brendan Rodgers or Allegri. Ancelotti as well was another one. But look, the way I look at it now, I cannot see the Arsenal board sacking Arteta. So, like, I'd take Graham Potter. I would take Brendan Rodgers at the minute, because it would be an improvement. A long-term improvement, I'm not 100% on him. Like, I was all for him, and I remember at the time, a mate of mine who's very intelligent with football, and he's a Liverpool fan, and he was telling me just one or two things that turned me off him a slight bit, just the playing style, sort of stuff like that. But he is a good manager. He gets the players on his side, but he also has the bad streak in him. I think your man James Maddison and him don't get on too well either. So there's a bit of I'm in charge, fuck you sort of attitude. And just as I'm speaking now, Arteta has a lot of that, and I don't like that. I think for a manager to get the best out of players, you have to treat each individual player different. It's the way I treat people. It's like, let's say, if I see some fella and I'll just go, here's this fucking arsehole. I'm not going to be, hey, how are you? And I'll treat him with respect. I'll be nice to him, and I'll keep him at arm's length. And that's the way I'll treat him. But if there's someone you meet on the street and you just, this fella's a nice fella, and you treat him high five and how are you? You treat everyone different. But I just think with Arteta, he's just, this is the way I am. You have to deal with me. Brendan Rodgers, I think, may have a slight bit of that. And I'm not mad on that, So if you asked me a few years ago, I would have been definitely all for it. But I think what Kyle is saying, and what I understand is, like, I want the best for this club. Like, I want the best manager. I want the best of everything. I want the best assistant manager. We need to wake up a bit to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, why should we accept mediocrity? And that's all we're getting. This is a top club. The best managers in world football should be in queues trying to manage Arsenal Football Club. But they're fucking not. And you have to ask the question, why? Why did we get an apprentice at 30? I say he was 37 at the time, he's 40 now. Why did we get an apprentice at 37 years of age who never managed a fucking club before, comes in and is the manager of Arsenal Football Club? Why could we not get a top manager at that particular time?
Well, Manny, I'll bring that to you. Why did we not go for the top manager at the time? Is it the Kroenke's penny pinching?
It's got to be the Kroenkes, I think. I think it's fair to say that a large number of managers have seen the way Kroenke operates, and maybe they conclude that, working with him wouldn't be the best option. When you mentioned Carlo Ancelotti, Dale, I don't know if you saw me, but I was raising my hands and saying Ancelotti would have been wonderful. And it was ironic, really, because he joined Everton at the same time Arteta joined Arsenal. And I was thinking, that it was going to be the other way around, and I would have loved him. Now, there is some criticism about Ancelotti saying that, his big successes have really only been with the biggest teams. And his record with smaller teams might not have been that much about which to shout, but he has earned his fair share of successes. I call him the, we talk about dealing with star players. I call him the star player whisperer, if you will. He definitely would have gotten the tune out of Aubameyang. He would have sorted out those problems. It was rather disappointing to see him leave Everton after a full season. But, I was speaking to Kenny Ken about this. He wanted Benitez to join Arsenal. I am glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
When Ancelotti left Everton, he dodged a bullet because they're, quite batting average. And, this season it's sort of borne fruit because he's led Real Madrid to the semi-finals of the Champions League at Chelsea's expense. They're well set to win La Liga. But, if Ancelotti could have come in, he would also have, sorted the problem out. And the best part about having someone of his pedigree in is that players will listen to him. And the way he conducted himself at Everton, I mean, obviously he's managed the Premiership before with Chelsea, so his English is actually of pretty decent quality. So he had a good career as a player as well, mind you. Former Italian international, former star of the AC Milan team, and then that was before he became a coach. So sometimes when you get a coach of that repute, that reputation, at least people will, when he speaks, people will listen. And he would have at least been given some freedom, I'd like to think, to, implement his ideas. And at Everton during that season, they actually had a really good start. Some young players like Calvert-Lewin and Lookman were doing quite well. Our old boy Theo Walcott for a bit looked quite rejuvenated. But then things just, petered out a little bit. They had bad luck with injuries. And I felt kind of sad for him and the club at that time. So he would have been a good option. So we will just need to make sure that we get a manager who will be able to do all of that. But the problem is Kroenke, and I think I call him Cranky with good reason. He's going to be the main reason why Arsenal will never sign a good manager. As someone has said, he's going to be the reason why Arsenal will not achieve any great success in these coming few years. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a few FA Cups. We might fluke a League Cup. I don't know. But Kroenke needs to leave, and once he leaves, hopefully there'll be some hope that we can get a good manager coming over to manage the club.
Kyle, I'm just going to go to you on this run, right? Striker-wise, we talked about Eddie today, and Eddie was, fair play to him. He played brilliant. What do we need in the summer, striker-wise, for you? Do we need to sign Eddie, or what's your feeling? What's your opinion?
We need to get rid of Eddie, and we need to get rid of Lacazette. That's to start with. We need to go into the markets and we need to buy an out-and-out goal scorer. Someone that's a number 9, a natural goal scorer that's able to finish. Who do you get? See, this is the problem, Dave. Who are you going to get? Because we have to have Champions League football to attract the best players in Europe. Without Champions League football, you're fucked. And we're not going to have Champions League football, Dave. Let's not call ourselves here. And then, I think Lacazette is gone. Personally speaking, I think he's gone anyway. It's hard to know about Eddie. Eddie might stay. It's hard to know about him, but he's not the answer. Then he only scored 2. He scored 2 goals tonight. He was brilliant tonight, and fair play to him. But do you think he's going to score 20, 25 goals a season? I don't think so. So you're going to have to get a goal scorer that's able to score 25, 30 goals a season. But where do you go then? Where do you start to look?
People were always on about Calvert-Lewin and stuff like that. I think he's fucking shy. I really fucking do.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him at the club. He's not good enough. You have to speak facts here then. Lads talk shit. He's not good enough for what we're looking for. Who is good? You asked the question, who is good enough? Haaland. But is he going to come to Arsenal? I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? We're linked with Rashford. Honestly, do you want Rashford?
Fuck no. Jesus Christ. See, this is the thing, and we'll talk straight here because we're not English. And you look at the likes of Rashford, Calvert-Lewin, maybe because they have the English tax involved and stuff like that. They're fucking, to me, they're not good enough. They're not good enough for this club to be at this club. I'd be freaked if we had started the season gone in with them leading the line. So Calvert-Lewin and Eddie signs a new contract leading the line. Forget about it. You might as well start challenging again for top 4 or top 6 or whatever. They're not good enough. Aim fucking high.
Yeah. The problem is though that it's like what I'm saying to you, man. Where do you begin to look for a natural goal scorer that's going to come to Arsenal if you don't have Champions League football, look, you're looking like if I'm a top European footballer, I'm looking at Arsenal Football Club, and I'm saying to myself, they've lost 11 games this season. They're conceding goals left, right, and centre. They're getting beat by Southampton and Brighton. They're out of all cup competitions. There's no European football. Why the fuck would I want to go to Arsenal?
Yeah.
Seriously, you have Chelsea, Man United, or not Man, Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. If I was a top player, I'd be wanting to go to one of them. I'd be saying to my agent, get me into one of those clubs. Arsenal, fuck off. That's the truth. That's where we are.
Manny, what do you reckon striker wise? What do we need in the summer?
Yeah, here's the thing. You talk a little bit about Calvert-Lewin and Rashford, right? Rashford actually was quite decent last season for Manchester United, and obviously, he's obviously been called up to play for England on more than a few occasions. I think he might have suffered a little bit this season. I still actually rate him. As you've mentioned, both of you are Irish. I'm English, so I do see a lot of things in Rashford that maybe the two of you might not. Do I think he'd be a decent fit at Arsenal? Well, we did buy a certain Daniel Welbeck from Arsenal, from United. He didn't do too badly for Arsenal. So, I mean, we could potentially give Rashford a chance. I actually think that Calvert-Lewin has also fallen away. It's a shame how a lot of these players who have been touted in earlier seasons have fallen away a little bit, but maybe a move to a new club, could rejuvenate him, given the challenge that he wants. And I remember actually seeing him play for the England youth team. He also, I think, was the person who scored that winning goal when England beat Venezuela and South Korea to win the Under-20 World Cup in, I think, 2017. So there is some talent there. Obviously, success at youth level won't necessarily translate to success at the professional level, but the fact that Everton had kept playing him meant that they did see something in him, and maybe he needs a move. I remember mentioning in the chat, if Pulisic hadn't been injured so often this season, I wouldn't mind taking him. And yet, after what happened with David Luiz and Willian, I'm not too sure taking another Chelsea reject would be good.
Yeah, to be more.
Which top quality striker would want to come to Arsenal, as Carl said? So we might have to look for some of those people who were at the top, who might perhaps have faded a bit, but who might just benefit from the challenge of moving to a, fallen giant, if you will. Maybe that could be the answer.
You're Manny, I think you're dreaming of a Bergkamp-esque or Thierry Henry sort of situation there, and you look, come here, you're 100% right, being honest with you. But I suppose who is out there, club-wise with that, I think there's two, we need one top quality striker. We have to go and break the bank for the top quality striker. I think if we get someone, if we get Champions League, you have an ace up your sleeve, and at least you can just turn around to them. And now this is what I'm talking about here. This is what I do. If I was in charge, if I was Edu, right, I'd be just going, right, mate. Here we are. We're in the Champions League, right? That's where we are, right? We got top 4 last season, right? We've a young squad. We've all these players coming through. You're going to be leading the line. We're going signing another top quality midfielder, a left defender, and backup and all this. This is what we're going to do. Sell him the fucking dream. You know what I mean? And just say this is the club. We're going to be challenging for the title in 2 years. Come along on this journey, because otherwise, if we don't do that, and as I say, and I keep saying this, these young players that we have now, are Smith Rowe, Sakas, and all these, they're fucking gone. And it's as simple as that. They're gone. Man City are already, you can tell Klopp is already flirting with Martinelli. He fucking loves him, he does. And he's the best young player I've seen in the Premier League and all this shite. And he's fucking right. He is. He will get, I'll tell you, he'll knock sparks out of him. Martinelli, he'll have him scoring at least 15 goals, if he threw him into the Liverpool squad in a season. And I really mean that, because he will,
Hey, Martinelli should be number 9 for Arsenal. He should be our striker.
Yeah.
That's straight up. But you see, what my problem is, what I'm afraid of is that the club is it's going to be a mediocre club, mid-table club, and we're not going to attract a top striker. Listen, man, you can sit there and ask me about strikers all day long. I'm going to tell you something straight up, and here's fucking facts, man. We need a whole new fucking defence. We need a couple of midfield players, and we definitely need a goal scorer, and we definitely need a couple of wide players. That's my opinion. When you're relying on holding Ben White, Tavares, Cedric, you may forget about it. Gabriel, I keep Gabriel, and I keep Tierney. And for the rest of them, I pack the suitcases tomorrow morning. That's the truth. Ramsdale's good goalkeeper. I keep him. And then you go down to the midfield. Sure, Xhaka, he's a disgrace. Xhaka is a fucking disgrace. Partey, I keep Partey. You'd have to keep Pepe. I give him a chance. And Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe. Odegaard can pack his bag as well. He can fuck off too. Straight up. Like, there's still a good six or seven players there that's not good enough to reach the levels that we're talking about, Dave.
Yeah.
These lads are not fucking good enough. So we can talk about strikers all day long. We need more than just a fucking striker at the team to compete at the very top. To compete where we were fucking promised when we knocked down Highbury Stadium.
Yeah,
let's not forget
100%.
that.
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%. And like, I'm just going to go back to the game because, Manny, I didn't get your sort of opinion on the game. Like, you know, I thought Odegaard played well. And just going with what Kyle was saying there, would you give him another season, considering like how he's played so far this season? And look, we're near enough the end of it.
You know, the big problem with people like Odegaard and Xhaka and a few others, and I think Kyle can agree with me on this, is that they've just been so inconsistent. It's really irritating and maddening, if you will. You know, you've heard the poem of the girl with the curl. When they're good, they're really, really good. But when they're bad, they're just fucking awful. Pardon my French. And, you know, the thing with Odegaard, I think the reason why he was given the captaincy was that he already has experience of captaining Norway. I think he's the current captain of Norway. The only problem is he hasn't really, as people have said, done quite enough to, you know, establish himself. There is a little bit of potential. I think you could possibly give him maybe one more season, but as far as Granit Xhaka is concerned, I think he has to leave. And the worst part about Xhaka is that, you know, for all of his ability, he represents in many ways, as Carl can definitely agree with, the worst of Arsenal, because he was also flirting openly with a move to join Jose Mourinho at Roma. And at the very last moment, he decides, you know what, I'm going to stay. He might be an important player for Switzerland, but in his last few seasons, for every good performance he's had even more performances where he hasn't really done himself justice. He's the definition of a loose cannon, so he might have to leave. As far as Odegaard is concerned, Dal, I would give him one more season, but that's it. There are so many players in that team who are so inconsistent, yet there is some potential in them. If age is on their side, then maybe you can give them benefit of the doubt and maybe give them one more season. But for people like Xhaka, I mean, and also Lacazette, people like Nketiah, we talk about Nketiah's 2 goals. He'll say, you know, he'll cup his ears and say, I've silenced my critics. Where are you now? And then he probably won't even score for the rest of the season. So, again, Odegaard, I'll give him one season if there is some potential there. But people like Xhaka, no. They're done.
I pack their suitcases, bring them up to Stansted like I always say. I said, there's the fucking airplane. Fuck off out of London and never come back.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking useless.
Like, the way, look, you've probably seen the video of me talking to Robbie and all on AFTV and stuff like that, and I was shouting out leaders, and fucking leaders, because I just think you cannot have a football team without a leader. You know, and I kept on saying it. Okay, and this is my question to the two of you, right? Like, Odegaard to me is not a fucking leader. You know what I mean? If I was in that dressing room, I'd give him a fucking wedgie. That's what I do. I say, get out of me fucking sight, will you? That's what I do, so, you know. who the fuck is a leader for us, or what player do we sign in the summer that can be a leader? Kyle, I'll go to you first.
I'm like you, then. I don't want to see any leaders in that team. I tell you, I'm going to be honest about it. I haven't seen a fucking leader in that club since Patrick Vieira's days. It's been an absolute disgrace. The captaincy of that club has been a shambles. How long was Shaka captain of that club? Do you know what I mean? Seriously. Now you have fucking Odegaard. Then why? You wouldn't see him in a fucking play schoolyard, man. And you're supposed to take him serious as a leader. Aubameyang was no fucking captain either. I don't care what anyone says. Like you said, it's not a captain. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no captains at that club. Is Thomas Partey a potential captain, do you think? Maybe. But that's about the only one day. The rest of them are fucking leaders and captains. There's no fucking... You see, Dale, it goes back to what I always say, man. You have to have a winning mentality to be a fucking true captain. And you want, and I'll tell you what I'm looking for from a captain in this club. I'm looking for a captain that goes into the dressing room, look at the players in the eye, and say to them, we're fighting for fucking Premier League titles, not fourth fucking spot. That's it from day fucking one day. None of this. You need a captain like that. You telling me that fucking Roy Keane was going into the dressing room and saying to the boys, oh, lads, listen, we get 4 spots, we'll be okay. Are you telling me that Patrick Vieira was saying that to the lads? Stephen Gerrard was saying that to Liverpool. Real captains. Not the fucking ponces that we have at our club. They're a fucking joke.
Shaking hands and hugging and kissing.
Shaking hands, hugging, making sure that their hairs are all fucking in perfect condition. Tattoos. Hug. If I saw one of my players hugging another player, an opponent, I'd break his fucking face over it. I wouldn't accept it for 2 seconds, Dave. Oh, sorry, captain. I don't put me in the dressing room for 10 minutes with those fucking idiots, and I guarantee to beat Man United on Saturday.
Exactly, Mane. I'll bring that to you, mate. Leaders.
Someone asked you to come on, I think, so you can let him on, and then maybe I'll speak, or you can let him speak first. Yeah. His name's Nono.
Oh yeah. You. No. What's the story? All right, mate.
Unmute yourself.
You go. He's on mute there. Man, you go ahead. No, it's just on mute. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you one thing. The moment when the Arsenal captaincy was devalued was when Arsene Wenger made that utter gobshite William Gallas captain, former Chelsea player. I don't know why or how he was given the number 10 shirt. And my enduring memory of him was, I think after a draw in the Premiership, I think it was against Birmingham City when, Eduardo had that injury. He just sat there on the ground and was sulking. I mean, as bad as the likes of Xhaka and a few others have been, you wouldn't see people sulking on the ground the way Gallas did. And ironically, Xhaka is probably the only person in that team who's capable of, giving his players the bollocking they deserve. And yet, given that he's such a loose cannon, it wouldn't really work. I remember reading an article about how Patrick Vieira, squared up to one of those senior players who was talking smack about him behind his back. And Martin Keown apparently said, that is the potential Arsenal captain. And so it ended up proving. But we don't have anyone these days. I do like what you said, Carl, about Partey potentially being captain. He is, of course, captain of the Ghanaian team, which will be playing at the World Cup very soon. And, with the strength of his performances, he continues that tradition of defensive midfielders like Vieira and Keane potentially being captains. And I think once he gets his bearings in and makes sure that he has his authority stamped on, he could be nailed on for the spot. I would have loved to have seen someone like Kieran Tierney considered, but, his injury issues will probably prevent that from happening. Ramsdale could potentially be a good option.
Yeah,
if
he should be captain. You know what I mean?
Gets more consistency. You see him blasting his defenders, so there could be an option. The only problem is now, the way things are, we've got something like a leadership vacuum, and hopefully after this season, there will be some changes. When you get rid of the deadwood like Xhaka and Lacazette and a few others, there will be a few who will rise to the occasion.
Yeah, great points there. I just want to just say hello to Evan, still Canada, the Maples. Come on, man. Taib, what's the story, Taib? Good man. And no, you're in the fucking chat. What's the story, man? How are you keeping, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, yeah.
Happy? What's the story? Give me the lowdown.
Yeah, I know. Let's not get gassed. We still have to beat Man United. We still have toughish games to go. Do you know what I mean? Let's not wet our knickers, as Lee Gunner would say. Do you know what I mean? And big up Cal, man. He's spot on. And big up that Manny fella. And listen, man, it's a good win. Derby there as well. Do you know what I mean? It was a good win also for the fans. Do you know what I mean? It's always good to win a derby, isn't it, Del?
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. But like, as you said straight away when you came on, don't get gassed up. It's only fucking one win. We still lost 3 fucking, like, Crystal Palace, Brighton, Southampton, and let's go back even before the international break. We bet Aston Villa, but we also lost to Liverpool. So there's been, as it says, in the last 5.
But Del, I agree with you, mate. But Liverpool are amazing, man, and I'm Arteta out, but were you expecting to get anything against Liverpool, man? Come on.
No, they're a different class, different level. But what I do expect is for us to be acting like a big club and fucking going for their position. But the way that we're treating players, and we didn't sign any players in January. And just listen to me for 1 second, right? What always comes back in my mind, okay? This always sticks in my mind with the January transfer window when people say, the January it's hard to get deals done and blah, 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 right? When United were going for the league, and I forget who they were even battling it could have been Arsenal, I'm not sure. But Fergie knew at the time he was short a striker, potentially, if they get an injury. Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, okay? And what Fergie went out and done was he bought Henrik Larsson. Henrik Larsson went on to score. I think like fucking people are probably googling it now. I'm not googling it, but just off the top of my head. Yeah, they signed him on loan, but he scored something like 8, 9, 10 goals or something like that between January and the end of the season. But that got them over the line.
Yeah,
like
that's what beats Chelsea's Mourinho.
Yeah, but we had that's a fucking world class manager, one of the best of all time. He just knew. He just goes, do you know what? I have 2 good strikers. If one of them gets fucking injured and I have to make a substitute, I'm bollocksed. Do you know what? I'll get Henrik Larsson and I'll take him on loan. It's going to cost me fucking nothing, but it'll end up probably winning the league. And then you go to the fucking Van Persie and stuff. World class managers do that.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. We know Arteta is not good enough, but are we challenging for the league though? No. And are we gonna do it? No. But the thing is, yeah, and the standard they know is to challenge for the league and so forth. But what do you expect with these gash players? Why are you putting these crap players to a pedestal that they're not? You need to judge them what they're good at, and even if they're not good at what they are, you have the right to criticize them. But for me, this is how I do. I'm realistic in it. I know we should be challenging and so forth, but I don't put much pressure on these guys because they're not to the standard, and you can't judge someone that's not to a certain standard. You need to judge him by how it's good at.
Yeah, but see, no, hold on a minute. But Arteta is the one who was signed on. It's Arteta's squad.
Yeah, it is his squad.
So yeah, a bit of the blame has to fall on him. You know what I mean? And as I said, the run it's inconsistent. You know, we could probably come out and beat Man United 8-0 and then the next game lose fucking 3-0. You know, yeah. I don't know.
To West Ham.
West Ham then after. There you go. That's going to be a tough game, by the way.
Yeah, it's a tough game, bro. You know what I mean? Yes, West Ham are not have been iffy a bit, but they're still in it. They don't give up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they will. Like, you know, Dave Moyes has them going well. I don't know when their European game will be coming up, but let's hope that it's sort of in between
our game. So they'll be having the European game on Thursday.
Right, so
on Labor Day. But
No,
I
no,
know, I know, I know it. The Arteta's players and so forth. I know that, but like they're like these players are useless, and like I can't expect greatness from useless players. So you're saying, oh, we should be challenging for the league. Are you aware of we have Drake and them, man? Come on, and the crap managers.
No.
No. Let me tell you, man. When I speak about Arsenal challenging for league titles, I know that this current squad of players is not going to challenge for league titles, man, because they're not good enough. What I mean is that Arsenal Football Club should not be in the position that we find ourselves in. That we should be fighting for Premier League titles. Why have we fallen so fucking much? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then to get in this apprentice manager, Arteta. Arteta spent 250 million on this current squad of players that we have. And this current squad of players would not, I'm from Wexford here in Ireland, they wouldn't win the Wexford League. They're that bad. Mentality-wise, there's no winning mentality. All this falls on Arteta, Edo, and Kroenke.
That's why we need a new manager. You're spot on. You're spot on, mate. And as I said, but at the same time, but I know Arsenal should be challenging. That's the standard, but it also falls to the top as well. It's just a mixture of both. Do you know what I mean? And us fans should be like demanding them man out, but sometimes like I feel like. Yeah, like you say, Xhaka is crap and this, that. I know he's crap. I know he's dead food. But when he plays above his level, I congratulate him because we all know that he's not to the level. So I judge him by his level. I don't judge him by Vieira and those guys because it would be unfair.
I won't judge him at any level. I think the man is useless.
Yeah,
I made videos 4 years ago about Xhaka. And we're here 4 years later and he's still in the team. He's not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. He's a championship player at best. That's the truth of it. We have to be real here.
He's useless, man. But anyway, Del. Listen, yeah, like we should. Man United is gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a scrap. You know when teams scrap for wins. Do you know what I mean? When two teams battle each other, right? That's the type of game it's gonna be. Do you know what I mean? And earlier in the season, I thought we were unlucky. This is why, because we created bad chances, and if we defended a bit better and took our chances and openings, then yeah, but we don't have a manager to get over the hurdle. That's why that game Arteta didn't get over the hurdle. He got to the road in terms of like playing well enough to get something, but to get over the hurdle, he didn't.
Manny, I'll come to you. Just on this one, is a draw enough against United?
Hard to say, because if you take a look at the league table now, Spurs are still above us because, by virtue of goal difference, and we need to assume that they're going to keep winning, because what happened against Brighton with them was, an anomaly. They played so poorly that game. I'm pretty certain that Conte will whip them into shape and make sure that they will not play that way ever again. So we can only control what we can control, and I think here's the thing: will a draw be enough? No, not in my opinion. Because the way United have been this season, they have been diabolical, as people have said. Even if Ronaldo comes back in and gives them that attacking option and that glimmer of hope, their midfield and their defence are there to be exploited. And if we don't do that, it will be, quite shameful. So we have to make sure that we get the 3 points. Nothing less than 3 points will do. It's as simple as that.
No. That's a good point. I can't say any worse than that. I'll just bring the two boys in here.
Hey,
I'll go age before beauty. Jez, what's the story, mate?
Hey, Josh, yeah.
Yo,
where you been,
man? Hey, Jez, how are we keeping, buddy?
All right, Carl. How you doing, man?
Man, how you doing, Jez?
Look at you, Jez. Big up, Jez, mate. Hey, you're wearing the kit, man.
This is an original, 1991, which is 31 years old.
Jez, you're wearing that jersey well. Well done,
the
sir.
trip, man. And his ring as well.
Yeah.
Right, let Jez have a say. We all have our say, so let Jez have his say, and then I'll bring in Josh then, okay? So, Jez, what's the story, man? How are you keeping?
Oh, good, man. I've got 10 minutes because I've got to jump and go on the player ratings with Kenny and Lee. I thought I'd
Lovely,
jump. Great show, guys. I've been listening all evening.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
And it's always a pleasure to be on your show, Del Boy. And
Cheers.
great to talk to you, Carl, for the first time.
Yeah, Jason, delighted.
And yeah, it's a good result tonight. We got lucky. I thought that was a particularly poor Chelsea team tonight. Their defence was a complete disarray. But we got a world-class striker in Tekla. No worries anymore, boys. No,
Jez,
there's
you're
no
so
worries.
shameless, man. Come on.
We found him. Don't worry in the summer. We don't spend 60 million. We've got it. He's here. I'm joking. We got away with it.
Man, do you know what I mean? That's when the phone rings, man. Jez, did he respond to your phone call, man?
Come on.
Sorry, man. Say that again.
Did he respond to your phone call? You gave him a phone call for him to deliver, right?
Yeah, well, funny enough, mate. Funny enough. I did a stream last night with Gracie May, and I said to her, "Do you think it's time to mix it up in the midfield? Would you have El Neni in?" She agreed with me. And Arteta obviously watches my show.
Yeah.
Because he brought him in, and to me, he was man of the match tonight.
He was man of the match, Jace. He was my man of the match too, buddy. I thought he was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, why he doesn't play him more, I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. The he's not brilliant. He knows his limitations, but he can give us a decent show. So, but we know that Arteta's an arrogant arsehole.
Yeah.
And we'll just do what he wants to do. Pisses off.
This is the thing, like, and I'm gonna go back to fucking United days with Fergie. Like, Fergie had Nicky Butt in midfield. He used to play John O'Shea. Like, these players weren't great players, but they did a job. You know what I mean? When they were needed. You know what I mean? We needed El Neni today in midfield, and it's the best decision that Arteta made. Once I seen that he was in the team, I says, right, there's a good decision to make. You know, Jez, the starting lineup. What did you feel? Were you, like, as pissed off as I was, or what? Like, were you excited, or how did you feel?
Yeah, I wasn't confident. I did like the fact he brought in El Neni. I did. I thought that's decent. Give him a go. When I saw Nketiah up front, I thought, oh dear God.
Yeah.
Why do you not release Pepe and give him a go? Our most expensive bloody player, and he don't get to play.
Yeah.
Now, it's clear to me that they don't. Arteta doesn't rate the play. So, if I was Pepe, I'd be wanting to get out this summer, because what's the point of having that player sat on the bench week in, week out, never played? I was surprised that he didn't start with Martinelli. I really did. My starting lineup, when I discussed it last night on my show with Gracie May, was Martinelli in the front, Pepe behind him, Saka, Smith Rowe, El Neni, Odegaard, and I did pick Xhaka, even though I can't stand the prick. But that was my midfield and starting front forward. So I wasn't too far out, but it just shows you bring El Neni in, he gets injection. I mean, some of his slicing passes today was superb.
Yeah,
it was all. I won't go this. Don't quote me, but it was almost some of those passes that he fed. It was almost like watching Bergkamp passing to Petit back in the day. It was quality, and big up to him, because when he does get big, he gives a performance unlike a lot of the other players. So that's what I'm saying.
Like, I was just a bit fucking put off there when you had White out on the right. You know, he did get found out, and Tavares out on the left. I was just, oh, for fuck's sake, But I suppose, look, who else do you play out there? I was fair enough with I was a bit lovely. He's played Elneny in the middle because Lokonga, he just fucked him in the deep end, and the poor chap is still trying to fucking swim.
But the problem I have, though, sorry for cutting across you.
No, go ahead,
I
mate.
say to Jays there, Jays, the problem I have, man, is that we are relying on Elneny to come into the centre midfield to straighten us up against Chelsea Football Club. How low are we gone as a club?
Totally agree, man.
That's the standard for us.
Jez, I agree with you. Elneny is good, man. For me, what I expect from an Arsenal player is to show passion, fight, desire, and all that, and put some tackles in. Do you know what I mean? And when I recognize an Arsenal player is when he kicks Tottenham players and Chelsea players. Do you know what I mean? My standard is my players to be committed and play for the badge and show heart and desire. Do you know what I mean? That's always my standard. And if you don't show that and don't have the technical ability to match that, you need to Dakar. Do you know what I mean? And also, when I saw the game plan, I thought you may as well give them the 3-0 win. When I saw the 11, and then and then when I was surprised how their midfield was open, man. How are you letting in Nketiah score, man? Is this the Matrix or something? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
you have to remember that Chelsea were poor tonight.
They were, yeah. I just want to bring in Josh there because he's been sitting there a while. I just want to let him have his say there. Gerald, you just let me know if you need to shoot off or whatever. Just let me know, okay? But Josh, how are you keeping, mate? Thanks a million for coming on. What did you think of the starting lineup yourself? What was your first thoughts when you seen it?
Well, first of all, big up to everyone, obviously, big up to the panel. Second of all, obviously me, I'm a young gooner. I'm obviously 18. I've never seen Arsenal in the league in my lifetime. And obviously, I've never seen Arsenal in Champions League either. So this will be a first, obviously, seeing Arsenal in Champions League. Obviously, our season has been up and down like a roller coaster, obviously. But me, I'm just so happy that we can. I mean, every time we are in the mud, every time everyone writes Arsenal off, Arsenal always find a way to bounce back. But every time, especially Arsenal, we capitulate. We can't handle the pressure. So until we can balance out both the pressure and the comeback, then we'll be a really good team. I mean, look at City and Liverpool. Obviously, when they're both under pressure, obviously them two are on the Tavares battling one another. Right now, Liverpool will be under pressure against Everton, even though they're doing crap. They'll be under pressure to go back top of the league, obviously, and vice versa. It's just going to go back and forth. Honestly, before the Chelsea game, I said to myself, top 4 is done, it's over. And I thought Chelsea were going to absolutely destroy us because, I mean, Arsenal, again, our season has been a roller coaster. Arteta keeps chopping and changing the squad. We have too many injuries, and we're losing key players as well. So I thought, it's a long day for Arsenal. We're gonna get battered. But when Eddie scored, I was like, hold on, what's going on? And obviously, and then obviously Chelsea equalised again. Obviously, then Arsenal just clicked it and then scored third and the fourth. But I'm just gonna keep my stuff dry. And I'm not going to big up my chest until the United game. If we manage to beat Man United, and if our results go away, i.e. Spurs losing, Chelsea losing, then I'll say top 4 is on. But I still think Tottenham are favourites for top 4. But so far, we're back in it. But honestly, I'm just so happy, man. But I don't know. I mean, Arsenal can slip up like that, to be honest.
Josh, I'll say this to you, right? Spurs still have to play Liverpool, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Liverpool are flying. They have to win because Man City are putting the pressure on them. If if Liverpool do beat Spurs, would you take a draw against United?
Wait, answer. Is the Liverpool game before the Arsenal game? Was it? Okay, I'm confused. It was
Spurs play Liverpool in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Spurs game
and we
in
play
May.
United, and then
Saturday.
yeah, play United on Saturday. So honestly, I want nothing but 3 points. I want nothing but 3 points against United. Honestly, right now, I would happily beat United 1-0. I couldn't give two effing. I don't care. I would happily beat United 1-0, keep the clean sheet, score the one goal, and just see out the game, rather than batter them 7-1. Like, just.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean,
yeah. Wait,
but-
Josh, man, love your energy, innit? But like,
Yeah.
like
No, go on. You jump in there. You have to go now.
yeah,
Walk
I've got a
away.
dip, man. Big up the lads.
Yeah.
Once
Big up.
Gooners, always Gooners. Do you know what I
We got
mean?
one up.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming on. Talk to you soon.
Dave, my problem is that we're here and we're talking about getting a draw against Man United. Fuck draws. We have to go out and beat the bastards. Simple as that.
wait, bro, chill. Listen, yes, Man United have been crap, cool, but they've still got a very good team. Well, they've got 1 or 2 players that are very, very talented. Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho. Who else they have? Well, the rest are just dog shit. But other than that, those 3 players I've just named, Rashford, Fernandes, and Sancho, if they can, obviously they can hurt. Obviously, we've got mistakes in us. Obviously, we're going to be licking our lips, obviously, for this game. Obviously, 1, to get revenge, obviously, because they beat us 3-2 at Old Trafford. 2, obviously, if we win, it puts us in a great position. Obviously, Spurs play after us, so if they slip up, then we can keep climbing. But honestly, I'm hoping we can get 3 points. A draw, I personally wouldn't take it, because if we draw against United and Spurs beat Brentford, Spurs will be what? About 2 points back. Sorry, they'll be 2 points ahead of us, wouldn't they? So 3 points, nothing. 3 points. I hope we get 3 points, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I was looking to calm down like that. Legit.
Manny, I'll come to you. If it comes to that, it's coming down to the West Ham game. Davy Moyes, that's going to be a really hard game. Can we get from that?
Well, here's the thing. I think we beat West Ham earlier this season. And one thing which I can say about this Arsenal team is that, yes, they're inconsistent, but they also have this ability, they developed this ability to make their prognosticators look rather stupid. We think you see them come up in games where they're expected to struggle or lose. They end up performing above themselves. But those games where they're expected to do well, they completely flatter to deceive. It is going to be a bit of a hard game. I can only hope that West Ham might be, tired from their European exploits. I probably wouldn't necessarily mind a draw in that game because, Moyes will have them be extremely solid, and they're definitely going to make sure that they, keep it tight as much as they can. They may probably want to hit us on the counter attack. I'm not too sure, and they could also exploit some of our mistakes. So a draw wouldn't necessarily be a bad result, but again, I would much prefer a win, as Josh would say. It could be.
I'm not saying that to Manny. No, don't take this wrong or personal, buddy. I'm just speaking from my own heart, my own mind.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm with you.
Here's what I'm saying.
And
they fucking
Jez,
Tony Adams and Davy Rocastle and all them fellas talk about draws against West Ham. Fuck West Ham. You have to be able to go to West Ham and beat West Ham. We are Arsenal Football Club. This is the standard that we're after dropping to. It's absolutely fucking shocking. We were told we knocked down Highbury to go to the Emirates to challenge against Bayern Munich and Barcelona. And we sit here tonight talking about drawing against fucking West Ham. It's a fucking joke, lads. It's an insult to the club. It's an insult to the ex-players. It's an insult to the fucking fans that loves the club.
Yeah.
Draws against West Ham and the fucking scum up in Old Trafford. Fuck the whole lot of them. We should be winning games.
Yeah. Amen.
I'm Jez. Sorry, sorry, Dale, to interrupt you, but Jez, honestly, me personally, I watched so many videos on it. It's an absolute honor having you on this. Obviously, it's not my show; it's Dale's show. But honestly, Jez, quick question for you. Obviously, you've been loud longer than me. Obviously, you've seen loads of great Arsenal moments. But what do you think personally Arsenal need to do? And what do you think Arteta needs to do to get back to where we was, like challenging for the league, Champions League, and how long do you think it's going to take roughly? Do you think it's going to take 10 years, or how long do you think Arsenal need to wait, and how and what do we need to do roughly?
I'll give you a quick, straight answer. Sack Arteta, get in Simeone, or a manager that quality. Arteta is never, ever, ever going to take this club anywhere. He's a fluky manager. He fluked it again tonight. He fluked the win against the FA Cup to win the FA Cup. And let's get it right, because if Sheffield United hadn't had 2 goals disallowed, Arsenal wouldn't have got to that final. Arteta is not good enough. I've been saying it for 2.5 years. We need a proper, proven manager. Now, if we get a proper, proven manager and spend the money that Arteta's spent on some absolute dross, that he has bought some dross, and he's hung on to some absolute shit players, then we'll go nowhere. Get rid of Arteta, get a decent manager in who is strong, who's not a yes man. Get rid of Edu and Vinay. They're as bad. They are as bad, right? So you can't put all the blame on Arteta. These are the geezers that are supposedly doing the negotiations on transfers, because these are the idiots that will go in for a £65 million player and say, we'll give you 40 million. And then they put about all season.
That's the point, really.
All summer,
Yeah.
right? We got Eddie with his bloody jet skis, piss arsing around, and he's like not doing fuck all, right? Yeah, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, well, I'll give you an example, right? Erling Haaland, his release clause is 65 million. Now, if his agent came to Arsenal and said he really wants to play for Arsenal, give us 65 million, and you got him. No, Arsenal, Edu would say, 42 million, and you can have Tekia in return. That's how Arsenal work. They've done it for bloody years. And it's not that Arsenal don't have money. Arsenal have got bags of money. Right? They've proven it for the last 2 seasons by giving this absolute idiot 250 million quid. What have we done with it? So, to answer your question, Josh, that is the answer. Get rid of Arteta, get a decent bloody manager, and move on.
James,
I didn't expect
to you, it's an honour to talk to you there, James, and I love your show and your content and your work with Lee Gunner and the boys. Brilliant stuff. So, a quick question: do you agree with me, James, that we should be fighting for league titles, man? Or do you agree with some flip flops that we should be 4th place and that's good enough for Arsenal Football Club?
No, we should be challenging. We should be challenging. Look, Arsenal are an elite football club. Okay? On my channel, I'm gradually going through the Arsenal history. And it'll soon become quite apparent the culture, dare I mention that word, the culture of Arsenal, that Arsenal now want to employ a consultancy firm that God knows how many millions to bring the culture back to Arsenal. Arsenal had fucking culture. They had it from day one. They had respect. They had a direction. What has happened since the latter days of the Wenger era, that has gone. It's gone out the window. Arsenal Football Club the biggest, the third biggest club in England should be challenging every year.
Yep.
Every year.
100%.
For
That's
number one.
That tells
Wait.
me that I'm delusional because I want Arsenal to be at the top. When I talk about Arsenal, I talk to them same as Barcelona, Real Madrid. But I'm wrong to be saying I'm a negative fan because I want my club fighting for championships. It's horrible. The fan base of this club are a fucking joke.
Absolutely. Kyle, go and watch later on tomorrow. Go and watch the end of Lee Gunner's show tonight when this little 15-year-old muppet comes in and tries to tell Lee he's an Arteta sexual. Go watch it. It is so fucking funny.
Wait. So, Jez, so bro, what? All right. What's the name of the show exactly? So I can look at it right now. What is it called?
Lee Gunner. Just go look up Lee Gunner.
All right, then. Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Like, a 15-year-old Jace is trying to tell Lee Gunner about this.
Sorry?
A 15-year-old chap. Sure, it doesn't make sense, Jace. It doesn't make sense, man.
Mate, I've had it. I've had it where I had some little muppet on Insta contact me and give me all kinds of threats, this, that, and the other. And it turned out this kid was 14, right? And I said to him, how many times have you ever been to see Arsenal play? And he said, I've been 20 times. I said, really? I said, so you really know Arsenal, don't you? Yeah. He said, I know more than you. I said, well, that's funny, mate. I've been to 2,583 games. I've been going since 1968. So you know more about Arsenal than me. And he was like,
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Never heard from him again. Strange, that, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Mr. Collins, you can come in, sir. How are you, sir? Good?
Sorry?
How are you, sir? You good tonight?
How many, what?
I'm just asking you how you are. You good tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm all good.
Good. So, we've been speaking a lot in the chat about how we need to start acting like an elite football club, as you've said. And we take a look at Tottenham, all right? In the last few years, after they sacked Mauricio Pochettino, they brought in Jose Mourinho. That didn't work out well, but now they've got Antonio Conte. And that might actually be the difference between Tottenham and Arsenal. They might end up making the top four at our expense because they act like a big club. They want to go for the best, and we'll end up stuck with a 37, now 40-year-old apprentice. So, that's the sort of approach that we needed to have. We don't really have that. No. And I think it might not really happen as long as Kroenke continues to rule the roost.
I totally agree, Manny. The thing is, we can all blame and make out the Kroenkes are the wrong ones. Now, I do to a point, but I actually put more blame on the actual Arsenal board and Edu, Vinay and Garlic Head, because they are the people with their hands on day-to-day control. The Kroenkes, we can't deny it. The Kroenkes have sanctioned money. Right, it's not coming out their back pockets, but Arsenal always have money. And, if you've ever been to the Emirates Stadium and see what they bleed and charge, right? Just like in the bars, the food and all that, it's madness. And you on a match day, you're always going to get people, and I don't blame them, because a lot of these people that go to a match day, it's their first ever experience at the Emirates, so they want to make the maximum. So they're going to buy scarves, they're going to buy shirts, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They'll buy an Arsenal mug, tea mug, for like £9. Yeah, this is what happens. So the Kroenkes are making big money. Now, Arsenal Football Club only get 2% of those shirt sales. But all those shirt sales around the world, it's a big load of money, right? So the Kroenkes, or Arsenal as a club, are raking it all in. So we can't deny they don't spend money on players. We can't say that. what I blame the Cronkies for is their lack of ambition, their lack of wanting to see Arsenal achieve. That is a major issue. But that is unfortunate in the fact that we have American owners. And we've seen it at Man United, yeah, with the Glaziers. Yeah, that you know, they've suffered. Although the Glaziers have put Man United into massive debt. We can't say that about the Cronkies, because the Cronkies, let's put it right, they have paid off the stadium debt. Right, so that's gone. That mortgage is gone. But what we need is serious leadership. And we don't have it. We don't have it with the board of directors. They're too bloody old, right? Some of those board of directors have been around for over 40 years. All they're interested in is their bastard dividends every bloody season. And they're getting millions of pounds. I mean, what's his name? Lord Harris of Peckham. He's more into horse racing than Arsenal. Yeah. Does he go to games anymore? Probably not. So we have Edu, Vinay and Garlic Head. What the fuck do they actually do? What do they do? Nothing. And Edu and Arteta are so in cahoots, right? All they're doing is protecting their own backs. All they're looking at is what they can milk out of the club. And that is it.
And the frustrating thing about it is that there's people fucking falling for it. Like you know, like as I say, if you knew me, I'm not a negative person. I'm a positive person. If something goes wrong, how do you fix it? That's my mentality. That's what's in my brain. That's the way I've been built. Okay, I've said it in the stream. If a cup falls over, it's broken. Clean it up.
Can I just answer this question, Del Boy, Games FC? Mate, yeah. It wasn't Wenger. The Cronkies paid it off 18 months ago during lockdown. The Cronkies paid off that mortgage because of the fact of the pandemic. There was no revenue coming in. And if you remember, they took out a £200 million bank loan free of charge from the government for a year. And they paid it off.
That's 100% right there, Jace. That's facts. Yeah.
Wenger didn't pay it off.
No, he surely didn't.
And if you want to believe the bullshit that Wenger was selling players because Arsenal were in monetary troubles, that's rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
He was paying the finance.
Yep.
No. Well, you see, this is another example, though, of facts being out there, you know. Because I remember lads saying the same to me that Wenger paid off for the stadium. He didn't pay off for the fucking stadium. Jay's is spot on what he said. That's the reality.
I've got to go and do player ratings with Kenny and Lee.
Yeah.
Going to say, Del, Kyle, in a couple of weeks, I want to get both of you on at the same time to do a show on my channel.
100%.
It'd be great to have you two together. It'd be absolutely lit.
James, you have me there on Instagram there, buddy, have you?
Sorry?
I think I asked you on Instagram. You on my Instagram?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it, man.
Well, you give me a DM there, buddy. I'll give you a DM as well.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Well, we definitely do that show, 100%.
I'll sub to your channel, Carl, as well. So
perfect. Yeah, that's part. That's the. I'm sorry there, Jace. Before you go, I have two channels. I'm trying to. Dead Boys meet me tomorrow. We're going to try to sort it out. I hope it's the one that has over the 60 subscribers, not the other one. Keep an eye on us.
Manny, Josh, nice
to meet you. Jez, just before you go, mate, Friday, you okay for Friday?
Yeah.
We're doing 1980 season.
1980.
Yeah, guess what? There's a reason behind that. Can you guess?
Yeah, I know. Terry Neal, Liam. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to be doing the show on Friday. Me, Jez, hopefully Kenny and Warren is definitely on board as well. Well, yeah, Jez, cheers, mate. Thanks a minute for coming on. And I'll talk to you, mate. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Good. Yeah,
yeah. Can I say? All right. Okay. Me, obviously, as a young Arsenal fan, obviously, I'm obviously watching different league channels. Obviously, Lee, yours. Sometimes I watch Babs. Listen, I watch a lot of different league channels. Obviously, mainly Arsenal because I'm Arsenal. Obviously, me, obviously, being a young Arsenal fan, obviously, obviously going to be taking in a lot. Obviously, yes, I'm obviously young, but I'm learning obviously from you guys, obviously, because you're older. Obviously, you've watched more games, you've been to more games. So, I mean, it's a pleasure listening to all of you guys. Obviously, taking loads of information. Obviously, me, I know a lot about Arsenal. Obviously, I've done my research. I didn't just support Arsenal because I've obviously done my research. I know Henry is. I know Bergkamp. I know all these players are. So, but honestly, you guys, honestly, all the other YouTubers, fantastic, obviously. But hopefully, obviously, if Arsenal can actually make Champions League, it'll be my honestly. But first time, obviously, you guys have seen Arsenal in Champions League years and years and years. I mean, I've seen Jack. So for me, I'll be absolutely happy, but obviously be like, yeah, fuck it, yeah, isn't that is enough for me? But honestly,
that's all you want.
Honestly, man, it's so frustrating, man. Why? Like, honestly, this team.
I know. But like, see the thing about it is, Josh, right? The likes of Kyle and Mane will probably agree with me. Like years ago when we were playing football matches, you just knew we were going out to win the game. It was that simple. And you knew you had the likes of Patrick Vieira, Bergkamp, Henry, Perez. You knew that. Let's say we were playing Southampton, we'll beat them, and we go out and beat them. It was that simple. But like with this day and age, the way it's going, we're playing Southampton. Oh, they've had 3 good games, but Chelsea bet them 6-0, so they might be on the bounce from that.
Honestly, my expectations for Arsenal here, Arsenal should be champions for League Cup. I just said every single season. Arsenal should be competing with City or above them. We should be competing. Why are we competing with West Ham and Chelsea? We're better than West Ham. We're better than Spurs. Listen, even United, yes, they're obviously trash. Yes, obviously, I don't care about them. Good for them, cool. But Arsenal, United, where was that rivalry gone? Where is the rivalry gone? Where is it gone? It's just dead now. Like, come on, man. Fred against Buddy Xhaka. Come on, like, no one cares. Like, honestly, for me, obviously, you guys is same old. Obviously, same old. Also, for me, obviously, I've been Arsenal for 10 years. That's not long, but what I've seen is Arsenal mistake after mistake after mistake. You guys have seen Arsenal win league titles, compete in Champions League, score amazing goals. I've seen Xhaka get sort of 50 times. Like, honestly, for me, it's pain. Honestly, every time I also play, my heart goes like this. Every time, my heart beats so fast. Like, it's just frustrating.
I understand. Manny, I'm going to come to you here, mate.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm going to be brave. I'll just put it this way. Can Arsenal get top 4?
Hand on heart, I would say no. They'll find a way to bubble them.
Oh, come on. Oh, man.
Eddie scored 2 goals today. He'll be quiet for the rest of the season. They overperform against Chelsea. They'll flatter to deceive in some of their remaining games. I don't think they'll get it. Conte will have Spurs. He'll have them fired up and hungry. He'll make sure they'll never play as badly as they did against Brighton again. And even against Liverpool, even if they lose, they're going to give them a real tough fight. So no, we're not going to get it. We should get the Europa League places. If we don't, then Arteta has to go. Simple as that. I actually had him gone at the end of the season regardless, but top 4, no, I don't think so.
Like I was like when I said that to Robbie and AFTV, he says, "Oh, look, if we get top 4, what do you say?" And I says, get him out. Like, you know, still everyone around me laughed, and that's grand. Like, you know, it doesn't bother me. But I'm just looking at going, well, like Kyle, as you said earlier on, top 4 is fucking a number to me. It's nothing. I want to win the fucking league. And I know we're not going to win the league with the team we have and all this shite that fucking people are, oh, let's take baby steps and this and that. But what are the Arteta ins, let's say? What are they expecting from this club? Like, what's successful to them? What are they turn around in May and turn around and say, that was a great season?
Top 4 day. The 4th place is their standard. That's their standard. 4th. It's a joke. It's a joke. And if you're going to ask me, are we going to get top 4? I tell you straight up, Arsenal Football Club going to get 4th spot on the fucking PlayStation in FIFA. That's been straight up. That's been real about it, lads. We have the fucking hope.
No, classic young.
Not a hope. Man United will put a stop to him on Saturday. I guarantee you that.
You're very convinced by that.
100%.
Why are you
put
convinced?
money on it as well. Not a hope, big Man United Saturday, lads. Not a hope. Tonight was a good game. Let's not get carried away about tonight. Watch. Remember what I said, then. Remember what I said.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come true, man. Josh on Boys TV. Is that your name, Josh? Is it?
Yeah.
Josh, let me tell you something, son. You're 18 years of age. You're going to be waiting another fucking 18 years before you see some Champions League football, the way things are going, buddy. So it's going to be a long time for you.
Oh, please, Carl, man. Don't give
Because this little fucking Spaniard prick is after signing a new 3-year deed. So that's 3 years without Champions League football straight away.
Me, okay. I do think we're going to be United. I hope we wipe the floor with them. 4, 5, 6. I hope we wipe the floor with them pricks. Yeah, I hope we slap them. I hope we slap them back to Manchester. But the reason I'm not going to get carried away is because United is not Scunthorpe United. My United is not Stoke City. United are not Sunderland. They're Manchester United. Yes, they're crap. But they can click like that and they can whack with us as well. United can come to Emirates and go book 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. Arsenal need to take this game seriously. I hope Arsenal can put in the same performance that we did against Spurs in the first half, and obviously this game against Chelsea. Put them together, we're wiping for the 9, 7, 8. But Arsenal have mistakes in us. Ben White, Gabriel, Tavares. Oh my!
I know. This is the way it is.
No, listen, I swear to God, yeah. The quicker we get Keane, the quicker we have to fight. Tavares is worse than Barron. Oh my life.
Will you not be better off than supporting Burry or someone like that? Because this Arsenal just wreck your fucking head, man. Week in, week out, it's like a roller coaster.
Well, I'm hoping. Well, obviously for you guys, obviously you've had to wait what, over 20 years? No, but nearly 20 years for us to be the next title. Me, well, for me it's only what 5, 6 years. Well, I have to wait 50 years for me.
36 years for me, Pat. 36 years supporting Arsenal.
36. What you?
36 years, a lifetime.
What you?
Yeah. 43.
No,
I'm 43 years of age.
And Adele, what about you? How long have you supported Arsenal for?
Since 1989.
So that's about 20 years?
33 years.
33.
I'm supporting Arsenal since 1986. That's 36. Dale's supporting since 89. 33 years, that is.
Manny, come on. Give us your go.
Manny, what about you?
How long have I been supporting the club? 1991. That was my first season. The season they won the league. The season that David Seaman came in. And I remember those eras, Graham, and the early part of Wenger, where we had two teams of different class, different styles, but both committed to winning trophies. And both you, Dell, and you, Kyle, will remember those teams as well.
Absolutely.
So, Josh, if you get a chance to watch those videos of those teams under Graham, you might want to watch them as well, because that was also a team which was quite in contrast to Wenger's teams, but they had that mentality that
100%. So if you ever get to see any videos, any clips of them great players, look at it. And do me a favor, there's a documentary, Ian Rice and David Rocastle documentary. I don't know if any of you guys saw it. It's an amazing documentary. It might be on YouTube. Just type it in. David Rocastle is my Arsenal hero. I fucking love him. May he rest in peace. A real player.
I love Rocky too. Wonderful talent. Wonderful. Absolutely.
100%. And here, no Del Boy Gunner TV show would be complete without this fucking Man United supporting bastard. How are you keeping?
I'm City, bro.
Yeah, you're City.
Sorry, you're all the same to me.
Oh my god.
How are you doing, man?
It's red,
I think Thomas Tuchel's Arteta in.
Yeah.
I think he is. With the lineup that he chose and you scoring 4 goals at Stamford Bridge, he's so Arteta in. It's not even funny.
But were we not world class today, no?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, that's a stretch, man. It's a banger. Come on. World class.
Yeah, world class.
No, man. No, man. Too much for getting hyped. World class.
Man.
Hey, no.
And now he's gonna get a 10-year contract with that result.
Oh man, that's why you come on my channel. You're always winding me up.
Yeah, I actually hope he does. So this way he'll just get banned every single year.
No,
I'm joking with you. I didn't see the game, but what's that?
I said, Arsenal are back, man. Yo, come on.
Yeah, they're back.
Bro.
Yeah, they're back. Back to irrelevant runs of form that lead to nothing are exactly that. Irrelevant.
No.
So 100%, Chica, 100%.
Yeah.
That's the fucking bullshit. That's what
exactly. Marcus Rashford contributed for 70 goals for Man United, and what did he win? Oh yeah, jack fucking shit.
Yeah.
What can I say? Well, the only thing I can say is that City won 3-0, and I think we're one step closer to another Premier League title.
Cough, cough, Salah, cough, cough, Varane, cough is finished.
What's that?
I said Salah plus Varane plus Jota plus Diaz equals finished. Listen, Liverpool win the league, mate. Liverpool win the league. I'm telling you now, bro.
Oh yeah, we'll win the league, and I have a sneaky feeling we could win the Champions League too.
Dude, you're saying
a City Liverpool Champions League final.
City Liverpool? Nah, man. Real Madrid are gonna beat you, mate. Benzema, it's in Madrid. Listen, you're gonna get.
Sure about that? Chelsea almost overturned them in the second leg.
Yeah, but it still managed to win. PSG.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we do lose, it'll probably be because of Benzema. That dude's a sick footballer, man.
Yeah, at the minute. Come here. I just want to say this. I just want to say this to Mane. Actually, I just want there's 2 things I want to say to Mane, actually, right? And the first thing I'm going to say is, who do you think will win the league this year?
I think I'm probably going to go with Chike on this, because when you take a look at the run-in and how City have been grinding out wins, I think City might just have that little bit extra. Because Liverpool might have the pressure on them going into that run-in. They will need to try and make sure they win their games. But City are in the driver's seat. I think that they might just nick it.
Kyle?
Liverpool Football Club.
Oh, that hurts me.
I think City is going to slip up along the way, and I hope they fucking do a plastic club.
I hate City too. I hope they slip up too, but I don't think it'll happen.
I hope they do, and I hope a real club like Liverpool Football Club wins it. Fuck Man City. They're an absolute disgrace what they did the other day. They did about the 96 expert.
No, I didn't like that.
Disgrace.
Can I have my say, guys? Can I have my say? Me, the way I view City is different. There's only 3 clubs that I absolutely hate. One is Chelsea. Other one's obviously Spurs. You know, I actually hate City. And obviously, I hate Liverpool as well. I hate Liverpool. City, I don't care about it. I mean, one. They obviously listen. Arsenal were City 10 years ago. City were us like right now. Like, but. I mean, City now are good. 10 years ago, they were fuck all. They were nothing. But I think, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Football Club is a real football club. And we
know
were City were 10 years ago, but we were there because we were a real club. Not like them show of fucking assholes. They're plastic club, brought their way to success. And all about Pep Guardiola being the best manager in the world. I fucking manage Man City. You know what I mean?
Yeah, come on. No,
go on, man. Spend 100 million on fucking Jack Grealish.
Oh, come on, bro, come on, he's a genius. Yeah, he's bought a Champions League.
Guardiola.
He's the best manager in the world, man. Okay, who isn't?
Guardiola's the best manager in the world.
Yeah.
Disagree.
Okay, who is it?
I'll tell you why I disagree.
Okay,
he was with Barcelona. He had the best Barcelona team of all time. He went to Bayern Munich. He had a great Bayern Munich team in a bad German league. And now he's at Man City and he's out to spend 100 million on players whenever he wants. How is that a genius? Alex Ferguson was a genius. Arsene Wenger was a genius. If you ask me, Jurgen Klopp is the best manager in the world. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you don't have to go spend 100 million on the likes of Jack Grealish.
Yes, but the thing is, Pep's way of playing football, his philosophy actually produced some titles. Liverpool have had to end their 30-year wait to win one. City have won back-to-back. They didn't win it again. Listen, Liverpool, obviously barring 2 seasons ago, they didn't win it. City have won 1, 2, 3. I think they've won 4 titles in the last, 5 years? Liverpool, they ain't won. Liverpool only just won their first 30 years. Come on now. Come on, 30 years. Really?
Have you looked at their squad?
Yes.
The amount of players that Man City have at their disposal. Mario sitting on the bench. Do you see that they're in for Haaland? And that they could be getting Haaland down in the summer. Sure,
yeah.
If Haaland goes to them, look at the squad of players that they have. Sure, it's unbelievable.
No, seriously.
Seriously, I am going to be honest with you, Josh, and I'm going to be straight about it. Like, you don't have to be a genius to fucking manage Man City with the players that they have. They actually manage themselves.
Yeah, well, if
Sterling, Foden, sure, it's unbelievable the amount of players they have.
Yeah, well, if Harley goes to City, I think we all think, well, if they get Harley, and if it's Arsenal, God help us. Fuck me, God help us. But no, seriously.
And come here. That was my first question, by the way. So, my second question, Manny.
Yep.
How the fuck do you know about Irish football and Jack Charlton and all the good old days?
Oh boy!
I seen you in the chat. Yeah, I watch it. Yeah, I watch this stuff.
Listen, before watching English football, First Division, international football was my main thing. And Italia '90 was, the first tournament I watched. Obviously, I was cheering for England. It was wonderful to see Scotland there, and the Republic of Ireland team under Charlton. I mean, that team, results-wise, you'd think that they didn't do too well, but they actually found a way to, they worked together as a team. They got the results they needed, and theirs was an example of the whole being greater than the sum of their parts. And obviously, with so many of your players playing in the English divisions, there is that bond. And of course, in '94, when none of the UK teams qualified for USA '94, I was cheering for Jack's men then as well. So I do follow them, and obviously, with that British Isles connection, they're close to my heart. And over the years, I remember saying that Irish players have made such a wonderful contribution to Arsenal's success over the years. It's just a sad shame that ever since David O'Leary and maybe to some extent Eddie McGoldrick, we haven't had too many of them around. But one thing I can say about you Irish boys, you are team players. You play for each other. You stick together through thick and thin. And I think Niall Quinn said it perfectly when he said that even if you don't have the best facilities, it sort of improves your bonding ability as a team. And that's really why I love watching the Irish play. And you always have that special place in my heart. For me, it's England over everyone else, but I'm always going to cheer for the British Isles teams, Ireland included.
I'm sure I speak for Kyle here as well. I really do appreciate, your support and stuff like that. And it's one thing that always stuck in my head. When I seen a few things, I think I was doing a stream and you were talking about the old Jack Charlton days and Paul McGrath and John Aldridge and Kevin Moore, and then you start spitting them out. And I was just there, how the fuck does Mane know all these players? You know what I mean? And I was just there going, this is brilliant. I love this, And I'll tell you something now, because you did say something about the 1990 World Cup, and it was one of your favourite years. And I think it was the next day or the day after or something like that. And something popped up on my, I don't know what it was. It could have been Twitter or something like that. And it was retro Ireland 1990 jersey. And I fucking bought it. And I'll put it on one of my streams. I swear to God. So
Dave.
Those were golden days. And
Dave,
the early 90s obviously were
if you have the 1990 Irish jersey, if you want to give it to me, I'll get it signed by Paul McGrath for you. I'm very good friends with Paul McGrath.
No way.
Yeah, I get it signed for him. He's a legend. He lives down here in Enniscorthy, where I am.
Oh, does he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's a legend. Absolute legend. I love you, fella. You can talk about him, no problem.
Yeah.
I know him for the last 6 years though, so we're good friends. He's a Chelsea mad.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Great player, and he's dead. Oh, brilliant.
He's world class.
And I love Jack. He did well, Jack Charlton, but I always thought with a more positive manager, that Irish team could have went to a higher place, in my own opinion.
Yeah,
the players that we had were fucking brilliant.
100%. It's just unfortunate that Arteta is going to keep his job because they won 4-0 at Stamford Bridge as if they won the Champions League. So
he already has his job kept even before tonight's game. He has a 3-year contract already signed, in my opinion.
Wait, oh my God.
That time when he was in America back in January, I can fucking guarantee you that contract has been signed. Guaranteed.
Wait, so they gave this to him back in January? No, you're playing with me.
He was in America there in January, and I guarantee you he signed his contract. Guaranteed.
What is, I keep saying that if any dignity, he'd resign if results don't go well. But knowing him as well as I, he won't resign.
He's a cocky individual.
Wow. So that means next season will be. So that means in 2 seasons' time, it'll be 20 years since you haven't won a league title or even competed for a league. Jesus. Wow.
You're always 10 years ago. You are. Leave me alone, will you?
No, I'm messing with. I'm messing with you guys. But no, I
know.
I just feel bad. I feel absolutely terrible, and this is a rival fan saying this. I actually feel terrible because I remember when I was 5 years old and Arsenal were invincible. My brother telling me that Arsenal did something that no one's done in ever, which was win 26 games and only draw 12 of them and not lose one. And people still hold on to that. People can't let go. People can't let go of the past. You have to let go of the past and move forward. You can't hang on to things that you've won almost 20 years ago when pretty much, I was 5 years old then, and I'm not sure how old you all were, but that was ages ago.
Yeah.
I agree completely. I was 23 years old at that time. Life has to move forward. We can't keep getting stuck in the past.
Fuck me, man. 23 years old. So that means I was in kindergarten when Arsenal won the league. Jeez.
Heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm going to tell you?
Yeah.
Your children will be in kindergarten before we win a fucking league title again. That's the way it's going to go.
That's if I even have children, for God's sake.
You'll have a few kids there. About 20 years from now, they'll be running around the kindergarten and we'll be still fucking on about Arteta. It's embarrassing, isn't it? It's a fucking joke, lads. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is it. You know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Fucked.
I mean, to be honest, I've just run out of things to say because I feel like I've just been repeating myself for a really long time now, and I'm getting really bored of saying the exact same thing over and over. The aim of elite sport is to fucking win, not to get second, not to get third, not to get fourth. It's to fucking win. Like when Argentina and Lionel Messi went to the World Cup final in 2014, Messi won the Golden Ball, which, in my opinion, he shouldn't have because. What did he do in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and final? Absolutely nothing. It was Higuain. It was Higuain that bailed them out against Belgium in the quarterfinals, and they had to go to a penalty shootout against the Netherlands just to even make the damn final. And what did they do in the final? Well, actually, they had two literally absolute sitters that they should have won, that they should have taken in the final. But other than that, nothing. And he denied the Golden Ball because he didn't want it because they didn't even win the damn thing. And usually it's the Golden Ball that goes to someone that either wins it or was just amazing. Like, in my opinion, it should have gone to James because he probably had the greatest World Cup tournament that I've ever seen in my entire life.
If you're in any competitive sport, and you're a competitive sports person, your ambition is to win.
Absolutely.
You have to have the winning mentality.
Yep.
And at Arsenal Football Club, I don't know what the fuck has happened. But that winning mentality is gone for the last 15, 20 years. Gone. Disappeared. And never it's not going to come back anytime soon. I made a video 4 years ago, and I said in the video that over the next few years, lads, it's going to be a tough road. I don't expect anything. And here we are 4 years later, and I'm still saying the same fucking thing. Winning mentality starts from the winning mentality. And we don't have it.
Exactly.
You don't.
Do you know,
and it's fans like Julian and all these Arteta sexuals and all these Arteta in guys that are basically holding this team back a ransom because you cannot convince them otherwise that Mikel Arteta will not take Arsenal forward. If anything, he's taking them back at least 5 to 10 years.
But geez, come here, you missed them all tonight. Julian was here, Jez was here, Brandon was here. We've had a few good, interesting characters on this evening, you know. And just from what you were saying there a few minutes ago, I'm sure you all know now that I manage my son's football team and stuff like that. And I'm entering a competition for them. Okay, so I told them the winner gets a cup. You get a cup. Right? The winner gets a cup. And one of the kids, right, said to me, if we lose, do we get a medal? And I says, yeah, we get a medal, but what I just do is grab the medal and put it in the bin because it's a second place or a third place medal. Oh, what if we come last? Yeah, that's I don't want that medal. I says, why are you actually saying that? Because I want to win the whole thing. I want the cup. That's what I want.
Absolutely.
I don't want any other medal. And every other kid, because they're kids, there was just one kid that said that. Like, you know, but every other kid just goes, what the fuck are you talking about? Like runner-up medal? I want to win the cup. We want to win the cup. That's all we want. You know, but it seems like an Arsenal Football Club, it's participation medal. Oh, yay, look, I won a medal for being in the competition. No, fuck off. Get out of the fucking bin.
Honestly. And also, I think I watched Lee, Kenny, and Jez, And I think they said something about if you're not with a team for a certain amount of time and they win a league title, you technically don't actually get a medal. I don't know. I don't know how that. I forget how that works.
No, it is
but
true.
I know that if you're not with a team for a certain amount of time and you're on that team that wins the league, you actually technically don't get a medal.
You have to play. You have to play over 10 games to get
10 games. Yeah. 10 games. Yeah, and it happened. It happened. Martin Keown in the Invincible season. Very last game of the season, he was on 9 caps, and he had to get his 10th one on the last game, and Ray Parler and stuff like that wound him up. Also, Stuart Taylor as well. I think in the 2002 season, the goalie, the ex-goalie, he was very short, and he came on. Richard Wright was in goal against Everton, and he came on in the last few minutes to get his 10th cap to get a Premier League medal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we are.
But I want to say something there, Dale, because I think it's a valid point. Arteta, before he got the job, Arteta said that within 3 years he was going to win the Champions League with Arsenal.
I was going to say, he's not even in the damn Champions League, so that statement's out the window.
He's not even in the Champions League. Now, this is a manager that all these fucking dickheads are shouting and singing songs about. This fella came out and said he win the Champions League within 3 years. We're not even in the fucking Europa League. Never mind the Champions League.
That statement. That statement that he made. Oh my God! I'm not even.
It's embarrassing. And then the lad still wants him as manager.
It's ridiculous. It reminds me of this former Scotland manager, Ali McLeod, in 1978, I think it was. He took his Scotland team to the tournament and declared that he was going there to win it. And they went on to have a dreadful tournament. They could have sneaked qualification in that last match against Holland, but somehow ended up, just falling short. It's like you make these stupid statements. You've got to have the cojones to be willing to back them up.
Yeah.
The very least, there's a saying, it's sometimes better to shut your mouth and let people think you're an idiot than speak and prove that you're an idiot. And I think, if and when Arteta is finally sacked or is finally asked to leave, people are going to look at some of those statements and say, you know what? How we ever fucking hired him, I will never know.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%. And actually,
look, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here now, and I'll give everyone a final word and stuff like that. GK, since you're only after coming in, final word, please, and your socials and stuff like that as well.
Final word for me is that I think we'll win the league, and for some sneaky feeling, I think we'll win Champions League. And you can follow me at Twitter at OnUKChike99. You can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. Arteta out.
Man, since you're down there, what's the story, man? Give the last final word of your sort of your views of the game, and shout out your socials if you want.
Yeah, we overachieved. We did as well as we could. It was a welcome win, but again, it's one game at a time. I'm still very much Arteta out. I do not want to see him next season, but I have a sickening feeling he'll be here. As for my social, you can follow me on Instagram. I know I'm following both you and Kyle. It's Manny Thangadarai 1981. Not too many posts on there. I'm also on YouTube. I will actually be putting out a couple of videos very soon. I actually would like to talk to both of you gentlemen about Irish football, because this year will actually be the 20th anniversary of the infamous Roy Keane incident. I know that both of you are going to have a lot to say about that, and it would make for an interesting conversation. I have my thoughts. You'll have your thoughts. It'll be a cracker.
Wait, before you say your everything, what was the Roy Keane incident?
Why don't you guys tell him?
He was at the Irish squad for the World Cup, and they went to Saipan. He wasn't too happy with the training facilities, and he walked over to the squad. He came home. He had a big fight with Mick McCarthy, Niall Quinn, all that kind of stuff, and he just turned his back and came back to Ireland. Now, when Ireland was playing soccer matches in the World Cup, Roy Keane was pictured walking his dogs around the local park.
Wow.
So and he was the captain of our country. And I believe that if he would have stayed with the country, we had a great chance at that World Cup.
Sure, I can
It's
imagine.
funny you mentioned Nick McCarthy, Kyle, because he was, of course, captain of Ireland at Italia 90. And when he succeeded Jack Charlton, he actually had more of a positive style of play going on. He wanted them to be more attacking than Jack Charlton was. So maybe with a more positive manager, as you said, in 1990, you could have got a bit further. But Jack actually was smart enough to, play to the team's strengths, and he knew what he wanted. I mean, obviously his decision to play McCarthy and Moran ahead of David O'Leary didn't sit well with many people, including many Arsenal fans. But, they got the results. At least O'Leary scored that penalty against Romania, which took you to the quarterfinal. So his legacy's sealed. But we can talk about all of that and maybe get some more people to join that.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. Absolutely.
Kyle, I'll just bring you in there, mate. Do you want to shout out the final word, let's say, of today and the match, and then your socials and stuff like that, mate?
Yeah. Then my final thoughts about the whole thing was it was a good result there tonight. We played well. We scored 4 goals. We got 3 points. That's what I expect. That was a good result. Didn't expect at the beginning, but it turned out good. Chelsea were poor enough. Overall, Arteta out tonight. We're going nowhere fast under this management. There's no Champions League football. We will not get 4 spots. The scum in Old Trafford, because I fucking hate Man United. They will beat us on Saturday. Guaranteed. Mark my words. I'm on video saying that, by the way. And also, I am going to be talking today there, lads, about videos, putting up videos and stuff. So I'm going to start out my channel. But it's Kyle Walsh Arsenal. And just tune in and subscribe and give a like if you want. And hopefully, I'm going to put up Instagram and Facebook and also. Hopefully, on the next video, I'll have more socials to shout out. And thanks to everyone. Thanks, lads. I really enjoy talking to you all, getting your opinions. It's been a great show. Dale, thanks very much for having me on the show, buddy. And everyone that's watched and liked and subscribed, thank you very much, lads.
Yeah, big up to you. It's been an honor being here. Congratulations on your 500 subscribers. All I can say is thank you for having me. It's been a delight, and I hope to do it again. If not next time, then maybe sometime after that.
No, yeah, look. It's gonna keep rolling with me anyway. I'm delighted to hit 500, and I appreciate everyone who has
Yeah, congratulations! I had no idea that you hit that milestone.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate everyone who's subbing and stuff like that. And I suppose I'll give my sort of take on the game today. Arsenal played well. Chelsea's defense were shit. Ours was even worse. We got lucky. We won the game, but it's the inconsistency that sort of gets me and is pushing for this manager to sort of move on and move aside and get a world-class manager in, and let's move on and move forward and get players attracted to the club again. I don't think there's players that are going to be queuing up to join the club. Look, what Manny was saying there, I'd love to talk about Irish football, and I think when the season ends, I'm going to do a programme with a few Irish sort of players or a few Irish YouTubers and stuff like that. And Manny, I'd love you as a guest of honour for that, to be honest with you, because of your knowledge of that. I just want to say a big shout out to Kyle Walsh, Arsenal. Please subscribe to his channel, because you see the type of guy he is. He's fucking off the cuff, and he's a great guy. He's a great passionate supporter, and it's not even about Arsenal. It's just about football, and it's about wanting Arsenal Football Club to win. And some people may turn around and say that's negative. It's not really, because football is about winning. It's about winning trophies. It's about winning competitions. It's not about, oh, I like him, I'm going to support him. No, you support a club, okay? If it's Arsenal, if it's Man United, Liverpool, Man City, whoever it is, you support the club, the badge. You don't support a player, a manager, okay? And keep that in your head.
Absolutely.
thanks a
Tony,
million for-
you play for the
Yeah.
you play for the name on the shirt. I think something like that. The name of
Yeah.
your club, and people
And they
remember.
remember the name on the back. Exactly. Tony Adams says that. I'm going to do another. I think I'm doing a live stream tomorrow. I'm going to do a fucking Egypt live stream tomorrow. So people, please do tune into it because it's going to be good. It's going to be a live one for the change, and not just me sitting in front of the camera. And I'm going to give people a few little options, and I'm going to throw them up on screen, and we see where we go from there. And on Friday, I have Jez, Warren, and I think Kenny Ken as well is coming on, and we're going to talk about the 1980 season. And it's a season that means a lot to me as well, and it's because Liam Brady left Arsenal. Terry Neal was in charge. Arsenal were in the fucking shithouse as well. So
He
please
also
do.
won the league at Anfield.
Yeah, no, 1980. Not that you're thinking the 89. So yeah,
You're doing
yeah.
it by you're not doing it by decade. You're just doing it solely on the year.
Yeah, 1980. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So look, guys, please come. Check it out. Join in. The legends will be in the chat room. I'll be just sitting back, just fucking throwing out fucking a few little things on the screen, and we see where we go from there. Thanks a million for everyone for subscribing. Thanks a million for liking the video, and thanks a million for tuning in. Legends on the panel. I want to thank everyone that came on the panel. There's so many. Everyone knows who they are. Manny, Kyle, TK, George, Brandon, Hanif, Warren, and check out Warren's team talks as well. Thanks a million, everyone. Have a good night. I'll talk to you all tomorrow on the live stream.